everyone to MogTalk episode 93. That felt really weird without an intro video. Like, I always have that music going on, but I don't know what I can do with that today. We'll just screw it. Post will fix it. I don't care anymore. Today is January 1st, 2017. And it's January 21st, right, guys? Do I even know what the day is anymore? What day is it today, guys?
I don't know, man.
All right, this is 22nd for you,
right? It was earlier, so
yeah, 22nd for me.
So we got
like two date fuck ups in like less than 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Holy
less than 5 minutes, man. I don't know. All right, the date doesn't matter anymore, guys. It's MogTalk. It's episode 93. We got 3 cool people and 1 okay host here today. We're gonna have a pretty good show. We're actually going to talk about 3.5. And before we get into it too much, I just want to make sure we introduce everybody here that's on the show. First, we have Xenosys. What's up, dude? How are you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm doing good.
You doing
Glad
hot?
to be on the
good?
show again, man.
It's been a bit, hasn't it?
It has been a bit.
Shit. I need to get that Warrior show together and get you on that show. I can get you on the Warrior show. I can get you on Dark Knight show. I can get you on the Scholar show now too, can I?
Get him on the Scholar show. This guy's pro Scholar now, man.
Man,
you should see
I'm actually getting kind of good. Yeah, it's kind of spooky. I'll be on any show you want me to.
Okay.
Oh my.
All right, for the next 100 MogTalk, Xeno will be here as co-host. He'll be on every single show.
ERP show.
ERP show, yeah.
If you
War
ever
show.
have an RP show, you better fucking invite me, and that's some real shit, man.
Are we just gonna
I
have
don't even
real-time
but
RP?
I want to be a part of it. Yeah, I used to RP back when I played Terra, and I had a character named Murder Train. He was a very joyous individual.
That sounds
actually.
like troll RP. That doesn't sound like
No,
real RP.
it was
dude.
it was awesome.
Murder
and then
Train.
my alter ego was it was like if like Lois Lane went around and told everybody who Spider-Man was, and shit. It was kind of like that. It was like
Lane
or whoever.
What?
Or I mean Superman.
Do you
sorry.
even read
wrong, wrong bitch in the wrong fucking. Sorry. I haven't had any sleep today. Okay,
All right,
I'm
no
like
sleep at all.
50% monster right now. Just give me like another 15. I'll catch up.
All right, I'll give you 15 minutes here. We'll go over to Bok here. Bok, you've never been on the show. Welcome to the show, dude. What's up, man? How you doing?
Thank you. Yeah, doing good. We had you on our show, so I feel I should return the favor and be on your show. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Just shows off the hook. It's Unchained, dude. Like that.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. When are you guys doing another show?
We don't know. We just kind of YOLO it. We're just kind of like, we sit around. We're like, hey, Xeno, you want to do another Unchained? And he's like, yeah, sure, I guess. And then we'll do it. And then we just do it. That's literally how we do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
dude.
because like our shows, we always say it's gonna be like 2 hours, but it ends up being like 4 or 5.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
probably going to do that to your show, so I hope you guys are here for a while.
Yeah. Arthas.
Yeah, we have a tendency to take 2-hour shows and stretch them into like 4 hours.
I mean, we used to do that all the time, and then I was like, all right, let's back it down a little bit. But we'll see. I feel like we're gonna have a fun time here. I don't know why. Just something about Xeno, Bok, and our other wonderful guest here, Arthas, on the show. Arthas, what's up, dude? How you doing, man?
Yo, what's up, man? I'm okay. It's like 6. The chat.
Yeah.
Someone is saying that I look really tired. I mean, it's 6 a.m. so I should look tired. I mean, I just woke up like 15 minutes before you Skype call me.
Yeah.
So I was watching like football for the last 6 hours, and then I slept like 2 hours.
I need to
I'm
confirm
okay,
this
I'm
real
okay.
quick, man. I gotta confirm
Yeah.
this. So when you say football, are we talking about soccer? Or are we talking about American football?
Dude, what the fuck? When every time I used to say soccer, and then everybody, especially people from the Europe, will tell you, dude, it's not called soccer, it's called football. So now I say football, you ask me soccer, football. Okay. Yeah, it's soccer. It's soccer.
Just say like
Okay,
English
okay.
Premier League or like
Yes.
Or like-
yes.
NFL.
Okay, I just
Yeah,
wanted to make
yeah.
sure. So you're talking about soccer for
Yeah, soccer.
our American people.
Yeah.
I just need to make sure because football's really big. American football's really big right now because
Yeah,
we're hitting the
yeah.
Super Bowl soon, and so a lot of people
Yeah.
could easily confuse that. Although I understood it, I just wanted to make sure you weren't just trying to like convert for everyone else's
No,
sake. Okay.
because I used to say soccer. Every time I say soccer, these European people just keeps coming and tells me that, dude, you are not a true soccer fan if you don't call it football. So I try to call it football now, and I still confuse people. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, man.
There's
I
nothing
don't know
you
what
can
I'm
do,
gonna
dude.
man.
Nothing you can do, man.
So you were bullied by a soccer elitist? Man, that's
Yes.
fucked up, man. Holy
Yeah,
cow.
man. Dude.
It is what it,
Oh
man.
my
Soccer players
God.
are pretty badass, dude. They're pretty badass. But all right. So just to give you guys a quick preference of everyone on the show, and where they are right now, if their sleep schedule and everything else. Arthas again. It's 6 a.m. for Arthas. Did you get your McDonald's, dude?
No, I didn't. I got some cupcakes though.
Okay, good enough. Cupcakes are great, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Xeno is on an hour sleep, right?
I'm on Mars, dude. That's where I am. That's my time zone is Mars.
Mars. No one is on your time zone. Nobody.
I mean, and
You got a monster that's
Yeah.
about to kick in, right? And so we're about to get some screaming and yelling in a little bit here, probably.
maybe I'm old, so it might just keep me the same. I don't know, man.
All right, all right. And then we got Bok. Bok, you were up all night too, though, but you got a little bit more than an hour's sleep, dude.
Me? No, no. I'm wide awake, man. I'm good. I'm good. I had a drank like a gallon of coffee. I'm good.
Yeah, and I mean, you have the, I don't know, the stamina of a madman who can just stand still and hold your phone in one spot for the entirety of the show.
Yeah, man. Yeah, totally.
Your cam is so good too, man. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And you have absolutely nothing that you have no flies in your house. Nothing's flying by. Nothing will change on your camera this entire show.
I'm also. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm also a
Ventriloquist?
professional ventriloquist,
Yeah.
so I don't even have to move my mouth.
That's amazing. You are a talented guy. And I appreciate you, man. All right, so today's show, guys, I want to make sure we introduce everybody real quick to get that out of the way. Although I'm pretty sure you all know everybody here. They've been on the show multiple times. Bok's a huge person in the community. Bok, I'm going to ask you another Bok question, I guess, real quick before we get into it. You post on Reddit more than anybody I know in the world, I think, Bok. If I see anything like, oh, here's a Dark Knight post, or here's a Astrologian post, or here's a Savage post, you're in there. Well, here's what's really going on. Especially in like Xeno's videos. If Xeno's videos pop up on there, you're like, well, this is where Xeno fucked up in his video.
Oh.
I've noticed that a lot, dude. Is that like just your place to go now? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I've seen a post without you in there. That's been like a
Dude.
serious raid post.
I'll be honest. Like, I love to write. I don't care. I don't need money to write. I just love to type. I like to type words. I don't know if you know this about me, but I just love to type words. So, and plus, I like having my own soapbox. So that's why I love doing podcasts, and I like typing on Reddit, because it's like you have your own soapbox. You can say whatever you want and kind of like,
All right.
put yourself out there and yeah, stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I do it.
That makes sense. Xeno, how do you feel when like when a video gets posted up there, right? And then Bok just chimes
Just
in with
shits
like,
all over it.
like just shits all over your
I
video.
mean,
I ask his permission. Well, no, I don't ask his permission. I'm like, yo, I'm just gonna totally shit all over your video. Is that cool?
I'm just happy it's up because whenever I post videos, I get blamed for shameless promotion. So, I mean, you know, shameless self-promotion. If only people knew how little money you actually make off of a YouTube view.
Yeah.
Fucking ignorant people. Jesus Christ.
So here's the thing. This is what you should do. You should have Bok write with your account. And then like you have definitely enough posts to where you can post anything of your own content up there without anyone saying anything to you, basically. That's all you gotta do, dude. Bok Xeno, Reddit account. Make it. Create
I mean, anymore, it kind of doesn't, like, I don't know, like when I first started to make YouTube videos, like I didn't care. I just pretty much post them anywhere to kind of get my name out there. But now it's just like there's so many other sources, like like Twitter and Facebook and shit like that, like the stream and Discord and stuff that typically if it's not like Bok or Chet or someone, typically someone else will post like a video up there.
Mm-hmm.
I know it pisses those fucking mods off too. So if any of them are watching, fuck you. I still get my shit on there.
Yeah, man.
No,
Exactly. They're
alright.
just like, well, you're self-promoting. Never mind what you do for the community. They just don't want you to self-promote,
because
Alright.
I'm just about the views. Gotta get them views, dog.
This is all
Like, seriously,
pre-talk
Reddit
before we
mods,
get
if
into
you're
it.
listening, like, man, lighten up. Like, if Xeno doesn't post it, someone else is gonna post it anyway. And it's like if I post it, you're not gonna tell me that I don't ever contribute to Reddit because I do all the time. Someone else is gonna post it anyway. Who the fuck cares?
All right. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. You guys ready for this shit? You guys ready for it? All right. So, with that whole rule, hey, you got to post up. You have to have 10 other posts before you post your own content on there, right? So that rule, the only sense that makes is that, hey, we want other things here besides people just kind of posting and advertising themselves, because Reddit could just turn into people posting their own stuff constantly over and over and over again. They want people out there actively looking at other stuff. That kind of makes sense to me. So if your only poster like, hey, this is my video, and that's the only thing you post out there, it kind of sucks. But at the same time, I post my stuff on Reddit and it stays up there. Like they don't say anything to me about it. Like I haven't had any of the Reddit mods. I've actually met the Reddit mods at FanFest, or one of them. I met Risif. I met him over there, and I've talked to him about it before. I was like, hey man, I'm gonna post my stuff up there. Is this okay? And they're like, as long as you kind of stay loosely within those rules, it's fine. We don't really care. I mean, if every single post you make a day, every single day is just a video of yourself on YouTube, then maybe we care. But there's a global rule that says, hey, you can't do this. This is how you have to post. You have to be kind of active with Reddit before you post your own stuff.
Right. That's fair. That's fair. But you know what? There are subreddits out there. That have kind of like a self-promotion day or like a thread. Mm-hmm. Where it's like self-promotion Saturday or something like that, and even though it goes against the rule, at the same time it doesn't, because it's like this is the thing, and they promote self-promotion, and I think that's kind of cool, and that's something that's healthy for the community. So rather than just
So you think that this subreddit should have a day like that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, as long as it stays within the rules of Reddit. I know that they, it's kind of unfair for me to say that about the Reddit mods, because they're actually really cool. But I was kind of ranting a bit, but yet at the same, they kind of have to follow the rules of the website too. But at the same time, I think that'd be cool, because a lot of people want to self-promote, and I think it's healthy for the community. Yet at the same time, they got to follow the rules of Reddit. I understand.
Yeah.
But that'd be cool. I think that'd be great.
So with that all being said, I've never had a video that I posted taken down. Have you guys have you posted something and they taken your stuff down before?
I think way back in the day they took like one vid down of mine. Man, you know what though? Because I got a message like a long time ago. This was like a year and a half ago or some shit, I think. Yeah. And they were like, yo, if you're going to keep posting videos, then you need to contribute more on other posts too. And I'm like, okay, cool. Okay. So I went around, right? And I purposely was just like, good job, thumbs up, carrot, shit, right? And I did 15 of those, man. And I guess I guess it has to be at least 2 or 3 words per comment, because none of those fucking counted.
Oh, man.
Are you kidding me right now? Come on, man, come on. Good job, carrot, that shit, come on.
Yeah, whatever. Just get one of us to do it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You just get someone else to do it, and it doesn't matter. And I think that's kind of where they stand right now, is that they don't really care too much. Because in the end, you just kind of... you're posting your own stuff's going to get posted up there. We want content for the community. We want some place that people can go and say, hey, here's some more content that you guys can absorb in the community itself. That creates a healthier Final Fantasy XIV community. You see stuff out there. I think more than the mods is just other users who are really salty and jealous of other people will say, hey, no, you can't do this. You can't put this up here. It's self-promotion. And it's just some other guy that has no right to really saying that. And there was someone who did that to me. I posted something up, but I had other posts behind that. Somebody came up and said, hey, you can't post this because this isn't right in your rules. And he just sat there and he kept talking shit for a while, and then after a while all his comments just magically got deleted.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like they told him that pretty much you are not a moderator here. You can't go here and try to force the rules on other people. So I think the Reddit mods get a lot more shit than they should. I think it's the shitty people on Reddit that should get the shit that they should be getting. Does that make sense?
I'm kind of over dramatizing the whole situation, because in all honesty, I don't care. I just think it's funny. But
yeah.
I just think it's funny to over dramatize
me too. Me too. Reddit mods do a great job. I don't mean to give them shit, but one time I
Okay.
posted something on your behalf, and they didn't like it. They're just like, you're just circumventing the rule. It's like, well, what's wrong with
Oh
that?
no, I remember you telling me about that. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Okay.
And that's when I took exception. But
Okay.
if they're just following the rules, that you know what, I can't blame them. But hey, somebody didn't like it. The fact that I posted on your behalf,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not gonna tell me, hey, you need to contribute more to Reddit, because I'm just like, I contribute plenty to Reddit.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Good. All right. So that was a completely off-topic, not anything to do with the show conversation that we just had
Right.
here.
So now we can start the show.
Now we can
Okay,
start
all
the
right,
show
let's
up.
start the show.
Yeah, we can start the show
Sure.
up. And if you guys are curious, we are using Skype for video right now. So when you hear those little doop noises, that's probably, Bok saying, hey, hold on, I got to pick my nose or something. So if you see that, then that's probably what it is. Or if someone's sending a link or something like that. Today's show is supposed to be about 3.5. We want to talk about, okay, now this happened. This is the last major patch that will happen before the expansion comes out. We want to find out if you guys, everyone, believes that this patch actually did what it needed to do to keep the community alive for the next 5 months at this point. Because it's really, really important that people don't unsub, because that's a lot of money they could lose. Like if they lose, I don't know, I guess 3 months worth of subs from like 100,000 people, that's a lot of money. But then again, we get into that. Most likely people won't unsub because they're like, oh, expansion's coming close, whatever, I'll just let it linger. There's lots of discussion about that. But we want people playing the game. We want it to stay active, and we need to talk about if this patch itself was actually worthwhile with all the PvP improvements, the cross-server improvements, everything. And the content that I put it out as well, if it's going to last long enough for us to go all the way to the expansion, which, it depends on who you are. If you're a casual player, it's going to last a lot longer than if you're a hardcore player. Most people beat all the content within 24 hours, but there's a little bits that helps out with the content. But we'll get into that. If you guys have any questions at all for the people on the show, please ask them. If you want to talk about why Xeno is wearing iPods for his audio, iPod headset here for his audio, or if you want to talk about why Arthas' hair stands up the way it does, or if you want to talk about why the Warrior Relic's so bad, which we will be talking about, I'm sure, at some point here in the show anyways, but any questions you have at all, or why Bok is really good at standing still, feel free to throw those questions out there. We have Kurara, who is collecting every single question. If they don't get answered in the chat, they'll be answered here at the end of the show. But the first bit that I want to talk about going into this discussion is the content that was put out. And I just want to briefly go through this content. The first thing is the 24-man raid. The very end of that whole storyline, the very end of that whole... I guess it's the only one that's like a big raid kind of thing that you guys can do. And it's not hardcore content. It's just bullshit that you do kind of every week, once a week, I would think, right? Now you might do it a little bit more if you care about getting 260 equipment, but most of you guys, I don't think, care about it, right? Do you guys care about the equipment that comes out of the 24-man at all?
Nope.
I
Nope.
mean, we talking glamour? Talking glamour?
Glamour, whatever, dude.
Who the fuck gives a shit about stats, man? It's about that glamour game, man.
I got you, dude.
It don't look too bad. I actually I didn't fucking know that had a story, by the way.
Really? It's like a good story. It's kind of, well, it's not. It's an interesting story. Come on, dude. All right.
Xeno and I are kind
guess.
of lame. We're cutscene skippers.
Man, I'll tell you what though.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what was fucking awesome about the new 24-man. Ooh, was a death gaze. Oh man, that fight. Come on, that fight. Yo, that fight when you went in there, he knocked so many people off that fucking boat. Holy fuck, that was so funny.
That's your thing,
Like,
man. You love people being knocked off stuff.
I love like when bosses knock people off, and I like it. So I don't like it that they can be rezzed, but I do like it because it means that if they fell off once, they're gonna fucking fall off again, and it'll be twice as funny the second time. Like, wow, this guy didn't learn the first time; he's dead as shit again.
Yeah.
That's really funny to me, and it was really cool because Death Gaze in 6, he was a really cool fight. He dropped the fucking Bahamut Magicite for all you old people out there that played that game.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, man. Like, I'm gonna probably boot that up at some point. Hell, I might boot it up tonight for all I know, dude.
Oh, it's the best, man. It's the best
Yeah.
at that.
It's
That's
really,
right.
really
I'm a sucker for fan service,
good.
and FF6 is straight up my favorite game on the planet.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy that they had Death Gaze, and and also I'm with Xeno. I love when people get knocked off, and you know
Yeah,
what?
it's the best,
Part of
man.
me even likes getting knocked off and feeling like an idiot.
Okay.
And yeah, but
So-
yeah, great fight.
I think that's actually a good point to talk about, like making like deaths enjoyable in the game, to watch at least, because you can kind of laugh at it. It makes you feel good. I mean, there's lots of ways they can do that. They can throw people in the air. They can knock them off to the side. They can. Well, that's all I can think of, I guess. I don't know. I thought there was a lot more than that. But throwing them in the air is pretty funny. When they jump up in the air, you know, they're all waving their arms around like an idiot, and then they die. That's pretty good. But when they get knocked off, it's just stuff you can watch for when you're a player who does it thousands of times in a row, hundreds of times, whatever. You just keep doing it. You need reason to enjoy it, especially when you're doing it with new players. And 24-man is, I don't know, plagued with people who are going to mess up and stuff. No other content in a game has anything like that except for 24-man. Do you guys agree with that? 24-mans is where people screw up the most?
Yeah, because how to say, not just because people screw up, it's also because most people just choose to go in as their sub job, you know. Because I mean, who needs gear for their main job in the 24-man content? And most people go in as a sub job. Like for example, sometimes people who haven't played healer before go healer, people who maybe didn't tank before go tank, people who didn't go DPS before go DPS. So them on their non-familiar job, and then find it hard to look out for mechanics while doing something new. So I think that is also part of the reason why 24-man sometimes feel more trappy.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah.
I mean, that's good. If it's going to be trappy content, at least make it fun trappy, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
One thing I thought that was really cool about the 24-man that like some people might not have liked is so like it kind of sucks when they like rehash like mechanics or like redo mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
But like cuz some of the shit in the 24-man was from some of the bosses like in previous patches. And I thought that was kind of cool that they changed it to make it like a 24-man. You know what I mean? Like they up the damage and stuff, and they so like in oh fuck, what is it? It's like in Dapper Keep hard mode or some shit. You fight that like jester guy with the scythe at the end.
Right.
And he
Sorry,
has
what,
that
what
move.
keep? What keep?
He
Say
said
it again.
Dapper Keep.
I don't-
He said
and
Dapper Keep. I know he just said
Dapper
Dapper
Say,
Keep.
say it again.
How do you say? I don't fucking know that the keep? I don't know.
No, it's good. It's
I'm
good.
just giving you
yeah,
shit,
but
man. I'm just
anyway,
giving you shit.
so-
Sorry, continue.
Is that how you, man? You know, Nick man. I always call it Amdapor, but Nick called it Amdapper, and I guess he got me saying it, dude. But anyway, like I thought it was cool that they redid some of those mechanics, and like they made them a little bit more deadly. I thought that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think mechanics should be deadly. I think if people mess up on a mechanic, they should just die. I'm happy with that. It makes me feel good
But
knowing.
yeah, but sometimes because it's a 24-man, and like Xeno says, the damage is amped up so high. Like sometimes you just take. I'm not sure whether you guys have this similar problem. Like the second boss in Dunske. Oh, what is that?
I fucking hate
the
moving
side.
that shit, dude.
Dude, you know the puddles? You know, it just take one person who doesn't, first time coming in, and then they just stab the puddles in and out. They just run all 4 puddles at a segment, and they just keep turning it blue, orange. Just one guy who doesn't know the mechanics, then everybody just wipe. And then
That's what I
every
did.
single time,
I didn't know what to do with it either.
Oh my god, I just yell at people, I just like, I type in Japanese. If you do not understand the mechanic, just stay still and DPS the boss. Sometimes I get so mad. Because there's always this one guy in and out, when you're standing and you done it, and then he will just overlap you. And then you and that person will just keep running in circle, turning that shit on and off. Oh my god, that was so bad.
What the mechanic is that all the puddles have to be the same color as whatever he's casting?
The opposite.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Or
opposite.
the opposite of your
Brilliant.
debuff.
Man, I
Fuck,
still
dude,
don't
I hope I never go in there with you. You're probably that guy.
Dude,
that switches
you
all
don't
the
know how
parts.
many times I died when we did. Okay, so
You
our
know,
FC did it.
You know how I figured that mechanic out? You know how I did it was really easy. I just completely fucking ignored it. I just let other people handle that shit. I ain't got time to deal with that.
Man,
do
I
that
tried to do it.
bullshit.
Yeah, I'm with you. I tried to do it. I'm like, I should participate in mechanics because that's what a responsible Final Fantasy 14 player does.
Right, yeah.
And this monk's just standing there in the puddle, and I'm sure he's doing it right. And I went in the same puddle he did, and then I walked out, and then he died, and I'm just like, shit. You know, did I do that? It's like an Urkel moment. You guys know who Urkel is? Steve Urkel? Did I
Of course
do
we know.
that?
Yeah, of course, dude.
That's how I felt. I just totally killed him.
Yeah, no, I even on the first boss, like all those ice things popped up, and I was like, am I supposed to be knocked into the ice? I guess it looks really spiky. That thing would probably kill me if I got knocked into it. So then I got knocked off and it was done. But I mean, there's a lot of neat little things I think in that fight that will just kill you, and it's just interesting to do. I've also noticed something with Dunscape is that they feel like they shorten the trash completely, right?
Because the
Yeah.
last boss is a lot longer, so that's the only reason. But
And
again,
then
though,
first
I think
boss,
the
you don't even have
mob-
trash going to it. You're
Yeah,
just
but
at
the
the boss.
trash mob this time is a little bit more harder than usual trash. And I like how you know the succubus before the third boss.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that they finally put some thought into trash mob, not just because she's actually a little bit deadlier than the usual trash we have for 24 man. She almost felt like a boss herself. And one of the best thing I've seen is they actually put I'm not sure whether you guys seen before. They actually put in the MGP blood sword. You know, the glamour
Oh,
sword.
yeah.
They actually put the glamour.
They don't play
on that
Paladin. They
boss.
don't know what it is.
Yeah. So I thought that was really finally after getting 24 man content, they actually put some thought into trash mob in terms of making them a little bit more dangerous and finally a glamour, not just proper equipment. Although I always say that I hope that one of the problem if you ever need the 24 man raid content, 24 man raid gear is that the belts is always a cock block. I want this piece of gear, suddenly a belt drop or 2 belts drop, and then in the whole run you can see 8 belts sometimes. So I thought it was really bad. I was like hoping that one day trash mob will drop a belt, so you don't
So you just
congest
want an
the
extra
already
chest.
congested.
You're like 5 chests. or
Something like
Yeah.
that. So when I saw that blood sword drop from the boss, I thought it was really cool. Like finally they put a little bit of thought into the trash mob. So hopefully in the future 24 man we see better quality trash mob.
I mean, they kind of did that with the big tablet thing that you fight in Weeping City, right? The big stone rock thing. You gotta go over and do a couple mechanics and come back. I mean, they put a little bit of thought into it.
I love that thing, by the way.
Yeah, so many people forget to
Wiped
press
on
the
it
button.
on Monday or
Oh, yeah?
Tuesday.
Man, one thing that oh my god, dude, this triggers me so hard, man. So you'll get these pug tanks, right? And it's usually a fucking paladin, in all honesty.
Oh,
that
okay,
does
I got
shit.
you. Yeah,
It's usually
yeah.
a fucking paladin,
All
man.
right.
Here we
But
go.
they'll have that succubus boss. They'll be tanking it, right? They'll be halone spamming, not even combo, just halone spamming. Like give me that halone, and they will tank the fucking boss in that puddle that drops. Like they give no fucks whatsoever. They're like, yep, this boss is going right here in that fucking puddle. I swear to God, man, it happens
dude.
like so much, dude.
Yeah. All right, so I'll go ahead and admit this. Paladin does have players who don't know how to play the game, playing it more often than people playing Dark Knight or playing Warrior. But there's also really bad Warriors and bad Dark Knights, but they suck so much worse than a bad Paladin. But they just immediately delete their character, I think. I don't know what it is. Because if you fuck up like Dark Knight and Warrior, it's really obvious when you fuck those up. You just drop instantly, basically. Paladin, you can kind of fake it. You can just throw in your shield oath and pop a cooldown every once in a while, and you're like, yeah, I kind of know what I'm doing. And then they just do the 1-2-3 combo. They don't put any dots up. They don't put any Goring Blade. But that's with any kind of simple job, right? I mean, Paladin's a simple job. There's nothing
Paladins
to it.
have an excuse too. They don't have a ton of experience like Warriors and Dark Knights do because they don't really get invited to parties.
Yeah. All right. Whatever. Good
Yo,
Paladins are
I've
pretty
seen
cool,
a bunch
though,
of other
guys.
tanks do it too, man.
Yeah.
It's just the only reason why I said Paladin was because it was like the last 2 tanks happened to be Paladin. But I've seen Warriors and fucking Dark Knights do it too.
Yeah,
It's just
Warriors and
fucking
Dark Knights
people
can
that
be
don't even give a
really,
shit.
really bad if they don't know what they're doing. Dark Knights
Dark
are
Knights
horrible.
especially.
Yeah, horrible. They're the
Dark Knights
hardest tank to heal because people don't know what to do. They're just stupid. I won't get into it. All right, this is not the tank show where we're bashing tanks and everything else. But
Have
anyways,
we ever had an Unchained where we didn't shit on Paladins, you know? I don't think so.
Uh,
Now we're bringing it to Frosty's show, and that's just me.
no,
Man, we're
you know,
terrible
I-
people.
So I
We're
love
terrible.
playing
I'm sorry,
jobs
dude.
that people don't like playing because you can play any job you want in this game and it'll be fine. You won't be optimal, right? You're not gonna do speed runs with that job at all. You never go in a speed run with a paladin, right? I don't care. I'd rather just join a party finder, teach people how to play the game, and be okay with it, and then try to figure out little stupid things I can do with cover every once in a while, which is not too much, but especially like an A12, man. Fucking physical damage is nowhere to be seen. But anyways, back to Dunscape. People who don't watch Arthas, do you know what the story is for Dunscape?
Nope.
None of you guys know what the story is for Dunscape.
Nope.
Yo, you're outnumbered here.
Dude, what
Fucking
is this?
non-cutscene
cutscene.
skipper.
The best raid
only cutscene I've
story
seen.
in this expansion. Come
Oh
on.
my god.
Yo,
the
man,
only
hit us with
cutscene
the
I
lore,
seen.
dog. Hit us
Dude,
with the
all right,
lore.
so
Tell
all
us
I
what's
know
up with
is
Dunscape.
there's this big ancient city, right? And there's this they made this doomsday device called Ozma, which killed everyone in the last raid, right? And you're going back to where they were
Sure
before.
did.
Huh? Come on.
Nothing. Sorry.
Come on, speak up, asshole. Talk shit about
no,
Paladin. I'm ready for it.
No,
Hey!
Okay, go. I'm sorry.
Okay,
go.
no. So, I mean, and then you're fighting Diablos the entire time. You guys know who Diablos is, right? Come on. Diablos.
I mean, I know who Diabolos is. That's
Shut the
right.
All right. Whatever. Damper keep. Dapper keep, whatever. So no, like, so he's the big villain the entire time. You're going through this entire story. You're chasing a demon who's from like the Void place or whatever, and there's like coffins everywhere. Did you guys even think about that? You're like, this looks kind of scary and creepy. No, not at all.
And all I know from so here's the story from me, right? All right, so in Void Arc, okay, Void Arc reminded me of this Star Trek episode. Yeah, that's right. It's a little, a little out there, but whatever. It reminded me of this Star Trek episode called The Tin Man. That's all I thought about every time I went into Void Arc. I was like, man, I really like that Star Trek episode. Then, not Lost City. What is it? The City of City of Mach. The
Yeah.
only thing that I thought about was getting your herd did on the last boss, because whenever we did a 24 pre-man,
Oh, man.
or wait, pre-man? Wow, what the fuck?
We
Pre-made?
gotta tell them about the pre-made. But sorry, continue.
Yeah,
With your stuff. You gotta
so-
tell them about that.
Yeah, so we had this thing where, like, if anybody got cut with the hair move, they had to change their hairstyle because they got their hair did. So that's the story about Lost City. And the fucking story of, what is this one called? Dunscaith, right?
Yeah.
Dunscaith. The story about this is that I fucking hate when they make bosses invulnerable for like a fucking minute. That is the stupidest fucking thing. Like when, like, you have this awesome cutscene, right? This fucking DBZ shit. Diabolos is up in the sky behind the moon, and he's forcing this, big power orb down, and you got this gate. It's like, yo, attack me, and you're like trying to, you're like Goku, right? There's like 24 Gokus fighting Diablos, right? And then all of a sudden, after all that happens, he comes down and he's fucking invulnerable for like 60 seconds. What a bunch of
I didn't know.
bullshit.
I got my wildfire off on him, and it was a 0 wildfire, and it felt like it felt horrible.
Wait, is it
Like-
vulnerability? I thought it's like a stone skin or something. I'm
Yeah,
not
what
sure.
is
I'm
that?
not sure.
Yeah, it's a
I'm
stone
not sure.
skin, but it's like a fucking 9 million trillion stone skin. It's like a 60-second stone skin. That's what it is. It's like it's way too fucking high. That's what it is. That's what kind of stone
So
skin.
you don't get. So here's my question. Again, I don't understand the mechanics properly to it because I've only done it once. The stone skin, does it come off? Like, do you have to
Yeah.
get it off? Is that your goal? You need to get the stone skin off, or does it just?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
I just get up and I open my door and I slam my dick in it until the stones can come off. So I actually have no idea what the mechanic is either, because I hate myself when it's on there. So that's what the fuck I do. I don't know what other people do.
Okay, fair enough. Invulnerabilities do suck, dude. They do suck, especially with timing things. If you know it's coming up, though, it's not so bad, because then you can wait for your cooldowns and you have bigger bursts later on. But then again, you're losing DPS overall on your ACT meters, right? So that's
I
the
mean, I
shitty
just don't
part.
know whether it's a skin or vulnerability. So I just spam my buttons. Yeah, heck it.
Just
I didn't even
spam
know he
it.
did that because I was laying face down in the dirt when that happened.
Oh, okay. So, it's not so bad that we don't all know exactly how that mechanic works. Okay, it's the first week, guys. Come on.
I know he does like critical attacks and shit. I just think it's stupid because like when they're developing a fight like that, right? Like who has fun doing 0 damage? You know what I mean? Like like who goes
I guess
into
a
that
paladin
fight,
does, right?
And
Sorry,
you're
I
like-
just had to throw that joke out there real quick. Sorry.
Well, like, who goes into the fight and like, yes, I crit for 0, eat shit, yeah, getting immersed in shit. No one fucking does that. Like what? Like why couldn't instead of a stone skin? Okay, follow me on this. Instead of a stone skin, double his fucking health. It accomplishes the same thing, but you're still doing damage. You know what I mean? Because when he comes back, the entire raid has their full opener, right?
So
or close to.
Even if the damage means nothing, you want to be doing damage. Like if they
Fuck yeah,
Okay.
it's like placebo, man. Come on.
Okay, I gotcha. That makes sense. Because, there's a lot of points in fights, especially in Savage, where I'm like, I don't need to do extra damage here because it's not going to make the fight go any faster. It's all timed at this certain point. I don't know. What was it? I mean, I guess it will make the fight go a little bit faster, but I like saving all my... For example, when I'm doing Alexander A12, right? On those ads, I kind of do minimal cooldowns for damage. Just they all die as quickly as possible. Then I want to put all my damage on the boss itself. Because then the boss will die a little bit faster, right? Or am I thinking of that completely wrong?
No, you're right. You're right.
All right. And so, but you, Xeno, you're like, I want to do max DPS all the time. I want to see my numbers pop up as much as I can. Right?
Well, I mean, I do, but I DPS smart. Like I'm not gonna burn my fucking Zerk on the ads.
I got you.
You guys care about damage in 24-man? So you know what my rotation is as a healer in 24-man? Raise. Ask for ballot. Raise.
So you just
That's
gotta
my
sit there and
rotation.
waiting for the raise? That's it? Like you're just looking for the dead people, playing whack-a-mole?
Oh, you don't have to look for dead people in 24-man. Trust me, they're everywhere. It's a freaking graveyard.
Jeez. Okay, so I think this 24-man, do you think that they've learned from the other fights that they've done? They've made improvements to 24-man? Like this is kind of one of their high points in making content, or are there other ones that are better? A lot of people told me that they like the very first one that came out, Labyrinth of the Ancients. You guys remember that, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
it was pretty cool, but I actually like these 3 better than the previous 3.
Yeah.
Dunscape is really fun. Like, I mean, I like Dunscape. I
mean,
like
you could do it in like
Weekend
20
City too,
minutes,
so.
right? If you have a good group, you're done in 20 minutes. Like our FC, we got an FC group together and we did it, and it took 20 minutes. And I didn't know what I was doing. I was dead half the time. We still did it in 20 minutes.
Yeah. You know,
Like-
we got a thing on our sorry, I don't mean to cut in. We have
Oh,
a
no,
thing on
you-
our server too where we on reset we do a 24-man pre-made, and we don't necessarily do it to get through it faster. In fact, we actually wipe sometimes,
Yeah,
but
we
it's a lot of fun.
wipe a
We
lot.
love doing 24-mans. Like even if we don't even need it, like even if we don't need the shit, we just still do it. We get everybody on voice chat together and we just laugh, have a good time.
Mhm.
We alluded to this earlier. We used to have this thing called the haircut challenge, where if you
Right.
got hit by the last boss's haircut move,
Mhm.
you have to get the pompadour haircut, and you have to wear it for like 2 days.
I see it.
Oh,
You can
oh,
link
yeah,
that
me-
if you want to. You can link that over in chat. I don't know if you.
Okay, sure.
Let me. Oh, is it KN? Yeah, it's KN. Okay, there we go. What's that KN stand for, dude?
So my initials.
Oh, okay. All right, now people know a little bit about you, dude. They're gonna figure out your address and they're gonna come to your house.
Oh my
Shouldn't
god.
have, like put that out there, dude.
Yeah, they're gonna come to my house, and I'm gonna be standing here with my held up.
And they're gonna be creeped out and leave immediately, I'm sure.
Good play.
Anyway. But no, yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's you guys are having an interactive community with the people you're playing with. Like you're actually having fun. No one does that in the game at the moment, besides like a few select groups. Honestly, when you how many of you guys actually did this with random people? You just party findered it, or not party finder?
Yeah,
I'm
I just-
sorry, duty findered it.
Yeah, just do
Oh, I did. I did it with both.
Okay. What was your experience with it in Duty Finder? Were you like banging your head against the desk and you're like, I'm done, abandon? Did you guys abandon your groups?
I mean, I had a lot of fun because like I did it. So when servers came up, Like we killed Zervan pretty quickly, and then we did the 24 man, and it was me and like a couple other people. We just fucking queued in, right? So we went in there with a bunch of other people that didn't know what the fuck was going on, and I had a lot of fun because everybody was dying, especially on the first boss. And like we got through like the second and third boss, and we're just like, I didn't learn a single fucking thing. I don't even know how we beat it, but whatever. Let's just keep going.
Yeah, that's the thing about 24 man. I think like the first week, I mean, obviously you shouldn't be expecting like going in and one shot stuff. So either you go in with a group, but if you go in with a pre-made, obviously it'll be more fun because you know the people, and you guys can discuss mechanics if you need to. But if you were to just duty finder it, I think it's still okay to go through. I haven't really met Vote Abandon for the 24 man in duty finder. The only time I think was. I think it's the World of Darkness. That was the last time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the only time I see people vote Amanda. And really? To retouch like how I feel about the 24 man, I think the previous 3 series was equally good, but I just felt that the previous series, the Crystal Tower series, was a bit more meaningful for more people. Like during that time we didn't have token, right? So sometimes you don't even get gear, best in slot gear for your main job. So when we went Crystal Tower series, especially the first Crystal Tower, Twintania taking so long to kill, the first Crystal Tower, a lot of us actually went in to look for upgrades for our main to tackle Twintania, So I thought that, and also the lower item level that the general community have. So that's why I felt that, maybe that's why a lot of people feel that the first 24-man raid was probably the hardest to go through. Because right now, if like for people who doesn't care about gear, we just want to get our weekly upgrades. We just go in our main gear, we just power through everything. But back then, even when we go as our main job, sometimes DPS can be an issue as well. Sometimes like, I remember when my warrior got the tank body. Shit, I forget what the armor.
World Darkness.
No, the Labyrinth of the Ancient. I'm not sure the armor of light. When I got that, I was like, holy shit, this is an upgrade, Because turn 1 in this first call of Muhammad, turn 1 the body just doesn't drop for me ever. So yeah, that was different. This time is strictly for sub jobs. The previous series, some people still take it pretty serious for their main job because of RNG.
Well, I remember World of Darkness didn't it have like a tank coat that was like insanely good. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it was crit debt, but it still wasn't best in slot.
Right.
Like I mean, it was really good though. It was really good.
It was like the best thing you could have besides the one that dropped, right? From
from Savage. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, right now this content here, if we go back to Weeping City, did you guys have like the same kind of experience like when Weeping City first came out? You're like, hey, this is fun, this is great. Was it pretty much the same as what we have right now? Or did
it was
like better?
Yeah.
I think Ozma is just head and shoulders compared to the other 7. I mean, the dev gaze was really good though. Like what Xeno says earlier, the dev gaze, no trash mob. So I was like, oh wow, no trash mob. So the first thing we fight is a boss. I thought that's cool. And the next thing you know is 20 other people fall off. And then that's where you're like, okay, so I'm not the only new one here. Yeah, I thought that was really good. But then again though, people figure out really quickly. Unlike Ozma was just that platform was so small and so many things going on at once, and just one mistake, or even sometimes not even need to be mechanical mistake, people just fall off randomly. So I think Ozma is just a lot better. Yeah.
I mean, this one here is the last 24-man we'll have for like what 8 to 9 months, because the expansion has to come out. Then it's going to be another patch before another one comes out. So we have this for a while, dude. I mean, we're probably not going to do it when the expansion comes out, but it seems like it's a really good way to end the series. It was fun. I had a lot of fun with it doing it. I'm pretty sure I'll have fun next week and the week after. It'll probably get to that point to where I just don't care about it at all. I don't know. I think with Weeping City, I still enjoy doing Ozma every single time we did it because people could fall off pretty easily. Again, another thing that you like, Xeno. Or people could fuck up the ads. That's my favorite thing. Is like when I have 6 ads on my side because none of the other tanks picked up anything and we got to kill all the ads. But I mean, it's nice. I think that they did a good job ending off on that, and I hope that new players coming to the game they're going to be using it to get gear. I mean, we have 6 months to gain new players that will come in before the expansion, and they're going to see this, and they're going to be like, yeah, this is kind of fun. I'm looking forward to the expansion, right? So I think they did a good job. Are we all like in agreement on that, or no?
Yeah, I thought 24-man was
I
really
agree.
good.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the Void Arc, obviously they set the bar so low for Void Arc, but since Weeping City and now the Dunescape, I think they did pretty well for these two.
I have a quick question. Do you guys think that this could be done with an 8-man group that was really good?
A long
Just the
time, a
8-man?
longer time.
You think so? Like it could be done. It would just take a while.
Yeah, I mean, 8-man. Wait,
There
You
are, I
probably
think, aren't
need
there
2
mechanics
tanks,
that you can't
though.
do with only 8 people?
I don't
You should
know.
need more people.
Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking about. I think the first guy can be done with 8.
I mean, it would be interesting because that would add a whole new level of difficulty for people who are looking for it if they want to try to go in there and do this with 8-man and try to figure it out. But it could just be a really long fight with 8 people.
I'm just trying to think about the other bosses. Like if I were to, I would say you can do the first boss with 8 because he doesn't do any. Like the only thing that he does that would limit you would be when he puts those black puddles down. Eventually, the entire space is going to be covered, or the entire platform. But if your damage is high enough, then it won't fucking matter.
No.
But I'm trying to think about the other
Damage
bosses.
being high enough
Like,
with only 8 people when it's used to 24 people.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
well,
the other
like
bosses is like the ads. I think if you can't burn the ads fast enough, the boss will just build enough. Like there's a gauge. I think there's a gauge where if you kill the ads slower, the gauge fills up faster, and then their ultimate will like literally one shot you eventually. I think that's the only problem. Mechanical wise, I think 8-man should be able to handle it. Just the DPS, I think.
Xeno Bok, you got your next project, dude. Go in there and do it, dude. Not 8, or you could just do 24-man warrior it, all right?
man, they said they were going to bring that Proto Ultima fight to the
Maybe-
game, and they never did, man.
Maybe they'll do it like they did Odin. Like it's just kind of released out of nowhere. I don't know.
That's
We'll-
what
we'll
they
see.
fucking said at
they said
FanFest.
after the patch after Germany Fan Fest, right? Yeah, they said it on the interview.
It could be
Germany after
3.55.
the no, I think it's depends on where 3.55 hits. They say it's February.
No, it's
but
March.
wait,
It's when
FanFest is-
3.55 is
no.
March.
3.55 is February.
No, it's March.
3.5
It's
part
March.
2
No,
is
the
March.
FanFest is February. You're
Yeah,
thinking of
FanFest is
Yeah.
February.
And then 3.55 and then 3.5 part 2. That's the wait, did you guys read the interview?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I was
Okay,
just-
so 3.5 there's it will be released in such order. It will be 3.5 part 1, which is January, which we got already, and then 3.55, which is in sometime in February. I'm not sure whether it's before or after FanFest. I assume it's mid to end February. That will be after FanFest. So there's a chance that Proto Ultima will be during that patch, and then the 3.5 part 2 will comes in. So that's why the relic.
Okay.
So that's why the relic is basically just 1 month away, and then you get the part 2 after that, which is the diadem, I think. So
Okay.
the Proto Ultima will be in either 0.55 or in part 2. I'm not sure when. I forgot. It's one of them. It's after the Germany Fan Fest.
So there's like 3
it'll be
parts
coming
to
in-
this patch.
and there will be it will be drop accessories this time. Not sure which piece. Yoshida is like teasing like maybe every slot accessories. So not sure how many will drop though, but he says that the fight will kind of remain the same.
Well, it
That's
was
the
a
fan-
not
It was a
hard
pretty cool fight at
It was easy
FanFest.
though. It was super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he said the difficulty will be around that. So maybe just do for fun. I mean, I think the more important part is that 24-man raids, 24-man primal fights is coming in, because we still yet to see the Savage Ozma, right? Which I think is really gonna be really soon, because
You
they
think
wouldn't
it's
pay so
actually
much
gonna happen?
attention. It's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen. Whether it comes in 3.5, because we have nothing for 3.5. Because 3.5, like I said, I think Proto Ultima is in 3.55. We have nothing in 3.5 Part 2 at all, except for Diadem. So maybe they'll sneak it in. Or maybe, like you say, because there's a long time before the 24-man raid content. So maybe in 4.0 in the first patch or something, maybe they'll release Ozma. I don't know. But I think it's definitely in the horizon. It's going to come in, for sure. I mean,
didn't
because
think-
it's a good test.
Yeah.
It's a really good test to their development as well.
Yeah, I honestly didn't think we were going to spend an hour on that. That's actually kind of crazy, talking an hour about Dunscape here. We talked more about Dunscape than it takes to do the dungeon, dude. So let's. I want to jump over to this trial because that's something I really want to talk about. The trial is a lot of people are really disappointed in it, and then some people are okay about it. They're not so upset about it. What kind of impression did the trial leave with you guys?
I thought the trial was
let
really
Xeno go
awesome
first. Yeah.
and really awful. I thought the mechanics of the trial were really cool, but I thought the way that they designed it was awful. So
The
like,
execution was really poor.
yeah, okay. So the issue is one, you can solo tank it. That's the issue.
Mhm.
Well, that's
I don't
one.
like that. I don't like that.
No,
I
no,
mean,
that's-
and
that's
we're gonna
awful.
keep doing it. We're gonna keep doing it because it's
Yeah,
easier.
I mean, yeah,
And we're gonna
definitely
keep, like,
keep doing
why
it.
bring another tank? You know, if you don't
Yeah.
have to. But
Yeah,
we're gonna
but-
keep doing it. But yeah, sorry. Continue.
So like, okay, so that's like one issue with it. Another issue, and this is probably the main. This is why Zervon is so easy, is because the first phase is timed and the second phase is percentage based. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. Like, what the fuck were they thinking? Like, you can. Oh, all right. So here, I'm about to drop some knowledge.
Drop it, dude.
All right,
I'm ready.
about to drop a knowledge bomb on you right now.
All right.
Did you know? Okay, did you know that if you don't push Zervon past 90% in the first phase, and I know you're probably asking yourself, how the fuck do you do that? I'll tell you how you do that. You just don't do any fucking damage. That's how you do that. When he drops, he does a wave cannon there. He just
no
says, fuck
clue.
it, does a wave cannon. You didn't know that? Yeah, no one else knew that. We found that out the other day.
So we're
How'd you
purposely
find that
doing
out?
shitty damage. We're purposely.
How?
okay,
How?
Well, because
we
for my
went in
video,
there.
for
We're
the
trying to
video.
get footage for Xeno's
Yeah.
video, right? Because it was funny because when we were progging through this encounter, I was kind of doing like a real time thing on Reddit. I was just kind of like typing out the mechanics as we figure it out on Reddit between pulls, just to kind of like just to give some information on Reddit, so for people who are also progging through it. We didn't know that there was a soar mechanic at the beginning, and I was telling people about the soar mechanic at the end. They're like, "You're getting the soar mechanic at the end?" There's a soar mechanic in the second phase, and so anyway, we didn't have any footage of the soar mechanic because we beat the encounter before we actually get to experience it. And we had to go back in and learn the soar mechanic just for Xeno's so Xeno would have footage for his video. And the process it took for us to learn the soar mechanic and figure out the push timings and stuff was longer than how long it took us to defeat the encounter in the first place.
Yeah. Well, so that's what I was saying earlier is that the main issue, the main thing, right, is the fact that you can push him and skip one of the hardest mechanics. So because the first phase is timed and not percentage based, you can push him to 75%, which is 75% he has the ice underneath him. Now, follow me on this for a second, right? How much? Okay, so this would increase the difficulty like tremendously so in the first phase he drops all the platforms, right? Now let's say that he had a force push at 90%. So right when he hit 90%, instead of continuously dropping the platforms, he just boom, he stopped and he just casted purge and he dropped every platform. So boom, you drop. So now you have to do soar. You don't have a fucking choice. You have to do soar and you have to do that tank shit. That right there, that one simple change increases the difficulty so much. And the reason why is because not only do you have to do it there, but because he dropped so much faster, you got to do it again after the fucking pillars. So you got to do it twice. Now, granted, you got tank LB for that one, you know.
Right.
But no, you know what? Fuck it. Let's make his ultimate. You have to use tank LB too. You know what? We're redesigning the fight. Let's not do that.
Oh.
So anyway.
Yeah,
so-
we're gonna go back to our like 50th episode where
so-
we're talking about
but-
Titan of the Blood Dragon right
Titan,
here, but it's
yeah.
gonna be like Sorvon of
Yeah,
the Blood
but like the issue is, man, is that you cannot have a timed phase followed by a percentage a percentage-based phase, especially in the opener. Are you fucking kidding me right now? The opener is when you are your absolute strongest. Like, that's why openers are so important, man. That's why, like, it fucking kills me when people are like, man, you know, it doesn't matter on the opener, blah, blah, blah. Like, you're a fucking
Who says
idiot.
that? Have someone said that to you?
I hear that shit all the time. Like, that's why so many people have, like, that's why so many people's DPS is just so god awful. It's because they don't give a fuck about their opener. The opener is literally, you are the strongest that is possible. You cannot get any stronger. You have every single raid buff and all of your buffs going at the same time. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they have a timed push in the opener, like, what if it was reversed, right? Like, okay, so let's say it's reversed. Let's say it goes percentage and then time. Okay, so let's say the first phase is percentage. So now it's 90%. And then the second phase is timed. The whole fight is still different because even though the second phase is timed, and you can push him farther. So, like, before the ad spawn, he does the Southern Cross shit, and then he does a random mechanic, right?
Random
it can
mechanic,
be,
yeah.
Well, let's say that regardless of his percentage, so, like, we think that, which I'm pretty sure we've done it. I just didn't put in the video because I didn't have any footage of it, but I'm almost positive we did it. But if you push him to 59% before he does the random mechanic, he will skip that random mechanic. We believe the phase push is like 59%, But like, let's say, for instance, that you don't skip that, right? That it's just, let's say you get it to like 52%, but he still finishes the whole phase out. Well, that still makes the fight, like, I mean, I'm not gonna say twice as hard, but it makes it a lot harder because you still have to do soar and you still have to do that swap. And that tank buster, that is such a cool tank buster, man. Like, when he just fucking demon claw bitch slaps you across the fucking ring and then laser cannons the tank. Yep. What should have happened is right after that demon claw, he should have put like a fucking 50-second physical vulnerability on the tank so that it would force you to do a tank swap. Because, like, the fact, like, just they weren't even trying with two tanks. they weren't even trying, man.
Well, I mean, like,
you know,
it comes down to that fact. Like, back in 2.x, I loved fighting Shiva. I loved T9. Those are both single tank fights. But I hated the fact that they were single tank fights, but I loved it at the same time. I like going in there and being the person in charge, and it was all dependent on me with my tanking ability and everything else. And I didn't have a backup or anything.
I mean, for single tank fights, they usually go for single tank fights if, like, there is one specific moment where the sub tank have to come in and soak something. Doesn't need to swap, but have to soak something. In this case was the beam. But because I think most of us is so over leveled, or, you know, because initially we didn't know that the beam is basically like a spear. The Torden spear, where you have your sub tank at the beginning, and then everybody else behind, and then the main tank would be way behind, right? Because it was knocked back, right? So the sub tank was supposed to do the responsibility for that one moment to just soak that beam. But because everybody HP is so high, people probably don't even know that. Like, you have like what, 25, 26k HP DPS. The DPS can still stand in the front, take that beam face up, and still wouldn't die. Or even if they die, you can still raise before the debuffs come out for the pillar. So I think it's more of because we are over leveled, over item level. That's why the need.
Well, I mean, like, it should be accounted for.
Tank.
I think that should be. And I'll throw my bit in there in a second. Bok, I want to hear from you, dude.
Okay. Can I say something? I kind of want to play devil's advocate here about the phase push. About the phase pushes. Okay. The designers of the fight kind of have a dilemma. They kind of have a problem. And this problem actually stems all the way back to A3 Savage. So hear me out here. A3 Savage was a great fight. At the same time, it was a terrible fight because it caused a lot of people to quit the game.
Yeah.
Right. I won't get into the details, but the DPS requirement to defeat A3 was insane, And it was basically like this: if you possess the DPS to defeat A3, then you're good. If you didn't, you just lose. You just lose. And people didn't like that because some people weren't that good at pushing DPS, and so be it. right? But the thing is, you can't have something so punishing as far as DPS goes, because it puts a barrier that some people will never ever cross, and that's kind of so they had to redesign a fight in such a way. They had to redesign fights in such a way that you still have to reward high DPS, because if you don't, then it trivializes high DPS, and people want to be rewarded for knowing their job. So how do you do that? Right?
Just clearing the fight faster. I mean, that really
No,
should be it.
yeah.
I mean, like, it shouldn't be skipping
I disagree with you.
mechanics.
I disagree with you.
Okay.
I'm going to disagree with you.
All right.
And hear me out here. I'm going to give an example. I'm going to give a couple examples. A7S. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If your DPS was good, you don't get those jail phases at the end, and that was the hardest part of that fight. But if your DPS was good, you didn't have to do the final jail phase, or you can skip half of that jail phase. And that is the dev's way of saying, if your DPS is good, we're going to reward you for it, because you get to you get to skip an undesirable mechanic with a high risk of failure. If your DPS sucks, you better be good at mechanics. And I think that is a really fair way of doing it, because unlike A3S, where it's like, if your DPS sucks, you can't beat this fight ever.
But see, that creates a whole dilemma. I'll let you. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'll let you finish up on that.
Yeah, but in A7S has it has a kind of like a middle ground here, where it's like, if your DPS is good, congratulations, we're going to reward you by you get to skip this mechanic that you don't want. If your DPS is bad, you can still beat the fight. You can still beat the fight if you're good at mechanics. You just have to learn the fight a little bit more. And this is a recurring theme ever since the disaster that was A3S, where a lot of people quit the game because they did not possess the DPS to beat the encounter. You just could not beat it. So quit the game, quit raiding, or get your DPS up there. Another good example is A12S. If your DPS is
really good example.
It's like, okay, if your DPS is really good, you get fewer puddles. If your DPS is, kind of in the middle during prog, you're gonna get that second puddle set where you get communion puddles on top of that. That's really hard to do. And the reward for having high DPS is you can skip that. You can skip that second puddle set. The reward for having shit DPS is now you got to do a third puddle set, a fourth puddle set, and that could be weeks of prog that you just added because your DPS isn't that good. Now, Zervan, they kind of took the same approach, and people in the meta in PF now is basically, if you can't skip SOAR, they're gonna disband the group. And a lot of people don't like that. That's what it is.
Yeah, a lot of groups like that.
Skip SOAR, every group, every group I do in the JPPF, everybody does SOAR. Like, we don't expect people to be able to skip SOAR, but let's be really honest, the SOAR mechanics is not that bad. You only need to sort out position for 5 people.
Yes.
2 tanks can stand together because the 2 ops will not kill you. The 4 DPS just need to spread. The healer just go to 2 of the 5 sets that they trust. That's it. Wait, what? You guys
fine.
Okay,
I'll get to my point here. I'll get to the point here, just so I'm not like dominating the conversation. I'll get to the point.
Okay.
The point is, if somebody is 95% reliable on SOARs, there's 8 people. If you do the math, that's still a 33% chance at failure. But you know what? If you skip the SOAR, it's a 100% chance of success because you just don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
The best way to deal with mechanic is to not get it in the first place, because you push your DPS push the shit out of it. Now, I applaud the design team for saying we're going to reward DPS, but if you don't have the DPS, you can still beat the encounter. And in a way, I kind of applaud the community, because for the first time, people are being held accountable for their own DPS. And I kind of like that. I don't like the encounter design itself. I think SOAR is a mechanic you shouldn't be able to skip like that. But at the same time, I still appreciate the fact that they're rewarding high DPS in such a way that it's desirable but not mandatory. I think that is good fight design. But Zervan kind of does it ass backwards, where you're skipping something at the beginning of the fight, not the end of the fight, like you are in A7 and A12. That's the only point I was trying to make.
So my whole argument with this is, when you talk to people who are really good at the game, people who beat the content within the first week and everything else, what's the biggest complaint? It's too easy, right? And it's too
Okay,
easy
can I-
because
can I
they're
just-
good
can I say-
players. If they were,
I'm
so-
sorry. Can I say something about the Zervan fight?
Yeah,
Just
do
a-
it, do
just a
it.
quick- yeah, like to and I think it's not more of how mechanics were being skipped or our DPS being high. I think it's more on Square Enix fault that they for this series since I would say since Gordius, mainly aim for Midas and Creator especially, is that they did not scale the fight to the item level properly, unlike Gordius. Okay, Gordius is a little bit too much. Turn 3 especially was a little bit too much. That is why when Torden came in, a lot of people did not. I'm not saying a lot. Like most of the raiders, just talking about as a whole raiding community, like I would say maybe 65 to 70% of the raiders did not even clear the living liquid, so they did not even have a 210 weapon. That's why most of these people when they go and do Torden, they are only with 200 weapons. And then when they clear Torden, it was a very good upgrade because Torden weapon I believe was 205, right? It was a very huge upgrade. But at the same time, the fight doesn't have. I vaguely remember the fight. I'm not sure whether there's a time push. I'm not sure whether there's a DPS push. But you kind of have to go through most of the mechanic, and it's also because the item level for the fight was kind of well tuned. Also because that Gordius had a gate, because most people couldn't get a 210 weapon. So the fight ended up to be really good. So in terms, to a lot of people, Torden was like one of the greatest fight. Mainly because Savage was a gate for a lot of people. Now going into going to Sephiroth and not Sephiroth. What is the one after Sephiroth? Nidhogg. I don't even remember Nidhogg. I didn't even do Nidhogg at all. I did not even do that because it was so meaningless. When you compare Nidhogg to Torden, Nidhogg was totally meaningless. The only thing that you get out from Nidhogg is fun. The weapons is not really important. And it's the same for this Zervan. We were, especially Zervan, Creator was so easy that, not to the easy where, many people claim, but definitely more easier compared to the 65% of the people or 70% of people that didn't even clear living liquid back in Gordian. So item level, I think, plays a part, which also kind of, like what Xeno says, they probably didn't even think about, say, the cutting cake phase, where it's time-based. They probably didn't even think about that. And they probably also underestimate the player's skills and also underestimate how they, hand out such high item level gear. Like we are talking about 30 item level jump this time in Heaven's Sword rather than the traditional 20 back in the Koi. That's why in the Koi, I'm not sure whether you guys agree with me, the 2.0 stuffs, including the RNG factor in the Koi, where you don't have a token system, gearing wasn't that accessible compared to now, because now basically in this Heaven's Sword, once you reach the 8th week in raiding, everything else becomes snowball easy after that. Your primals or even the raid itself, after the 8th week, everything just becomes easier. You don't have that during the Koi time. Titan was difficult. Ramu was difficult. Shiva was difficult. You know how long you have to go through Shiva? You have to go through the last phase was so long. You probably, some groups even have 7 steps. I'm not sure you guys remember about Shiva or Ramu, but just saying in general, item level plays a part. And especially for Zervan, especially just for Zervan, I'm disappointed in Square Enix. Because you guys didn't, like earlier in the show when we touched on Dunescape, you guys didn't. I believe you guys didn't know about the interview, so I'm going to touch up a little bit. So Yoshida said that Zervan will be difficult than Sophia, not just mechanical wise.
I said that.
Yeah, but he felt that he felt obligated to raise the difficulty above Sophia because this time, looking at the numbers, he felt that there is a lot more people attempting Savage and even clear Savage up to turn 4. So he said that. So I assume that he take into consideration that our item levels are obviously higher than we did Torden, than we did Nidhogg. Obviously higher, right? So I was really expecting that this fight to be tough DPS check or even a lot of mechanics. According to I don't even know, right? Like 90%, he will, the 90% thing, I didn't know it's possible. So he underestimated that. And now you know that our gear is better, you know that our player's skill is better, and you said in the interview that it will be difficult than Sophia, and this is what we get. Now this is not just the mechanic of the fight. The fact that Yoshida says this is the one thing regarding the whole Zervan fight then I'm actually worried. I'm actually worried about the future, man. Like, for this patch, okay, if you just plain on do not, like your Nidhogg, you plain on did not know that you have already made the raid accessible for clear for most people. People have better gear. Going to Nidhogg, most of people like me will feel they're meaningful. But suddenly creator is even better, even easier than Midas. And then you knew that the fact that we are better geared, you said that it would be more difficult. And it turns out to be actually one of the easiest, if not the easiest raid. Primal. I think that is the biggest problem.
I think I heard him say that it was supposed to be like as difficult or even more difficult than A12S, is what he said officially. And this was completely not even in that close direction. This might be like an A9S fight, right? I could put Sylvan like close to A9S
in terms of mechanics, if everything were designed properly, like what Xeno and Bok Choy just touched about, you know, the phases. If you do phase properly, I think in terms of mechanics wise, like I'm not sure about the NA, man. I mean, you NAs don't even do Saw, so I don't know whether this applies to you, man. Like Saw itself, I think should be always there. I think people should learn to tackle it. I think it's a very good mechanic in the whole fight. If you take Saw out, and dude, the last phase was super disappointing for me because, you know, when I was doing with my friends, I expect that, you know, I was like, okay, my friends is struggling with this pillar. It's fine. As long as we go past this, we can see the last phase. And surprisingly, that is the fucking last phase. I'm like, wait, what? So you do your pillars, you do a demon. Wait, what? The fight is over? You know, I didn't even look at HP. I was so tunnel vision. I was busy calling out because I was playing with a very, very casual group of friends. So I'm like fucking raging that they cannot even do simple mechanics. I'm like telling myself, oh my god, what if we get to the last phase? Is this going to be worse? People, you know, I haven't done it. Elysium, according to the JPs, Elysium cleared it in one wipe. Mr. Happy cleared it in 4 wipes. Xeno probably cleared it. My group is still struggling with this phase. What is going to happen in the last phase? The next thing I know is, what the fuck is finished? There's no last phase. This is the last phase. I'm like, what the fuck is Yoshida smoking, man? Sophia had more phases than the. I mean, the last phase was
cleared in 1 lockout. A lot of groups cleared it. We cleared it in less than a lockout. Like a lot.
We did 2 lockouts. My group did 2 lockouts, and we're a very casual group.
That is the thing I'm disappointed because even if I roll back, I say, okay, so we managed to do this. A lot of group managed to do this because the item level was high. Okay, so if we were to say go, you know, I always like to relate like, okay, what we go back to Titan Extreme times where we don't have best in slot. We are actually, some people actually go in to farm their best in slot earrings. So we are actually going in to get an upgrade. For Zervan, we are going in just to clear it as fast as possible because we don't need anything from it. So the difference was the item level. Okay, so what if Zervan was tuned to the point where it should be? And then I start thinking of a mechanic. And then the only thing I can think of is Saw. Because otherwise, the last phase is just keep repeating the pillars. And I think that some mechanics is missing. Even if we include the Saw, I still think that Zervan should have 1 more phase. The last phase was like 60% to 0%. You're basically dealing with the pillars. I think that's a little bit disappointing.
I mean,
Even
it's
I
like
thought it was
catch
going to
up
be harder
Primal
than
2,
what
right?
it actually was.
Say it again, Xeno, sorry.
Well, they probably thought it was going to be harder than it actually was, but like with the coordination. But they give you a lot of time to figure shit out. It's it's really not.
The coordination
that.
was very intimidating to look at at first.
What would you say is the appropriate difficulty level for Zervan, in your opinion? What should it be? I think it should be somewhere between A10S and A11S.
A10 and A11.
That's where it should have been.
Yeah.
I mean, I
that's not where
personally
it is.
think that,
That's where it should have been.
I mean, I personally feel that Zervan should have been in the raid patches, primal, like how Sephiroth was, how Sophia was. I mean, wait, what was the Gordius patch? Ravana, like Ravana. Ravana was the the thing you farm before you go into Savage. So maybe if Zervan were to replace Ravana, you guys would probably have to do Saw, I think, because your item level wouldn't be high enough. I think you guys would probably have to, or everybody have to do Saw. That might make the fight a little bit more meaningful, and the weapon that you get from it actually carries into raiding. I think that would be the best place to put it. Now, for difficulty, I don't know, man. I think it should be A7 difficulty. Like creator just doesn't have enough difficulty in creator that I think, like, even if you put, I mean, I'm just speaking for the three of us, all right? And I mean Frosty as well, since Frosty also cleared A12 already. I mean, for us, I think that even if you put Zervan in A12, I still think that it will be easy. So if Zervan would be obviously not living liquid, if he were to be like the A7, I think it should be around A7 difficulty. Right now it's not. It's definitely not.
Yeah. See, we're talking about in chat right now, but I think I think a lot of people agree that Thornton was like one of the best primals ever made, and like it tested everything you needed to do in every job. Like it rewarded DPS in the way that I was talking about before, because I think the best way to reward DPS is to make it so DPS allows you to skip or finish the fight before.
I really want to make a point on that. Like I've been waiting to make a point on that. Like for a while.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
All right.
And then also it tests your tanking, because you have to position really well in that fight. You have to use your cooldowns really well. Healing that fight was not easy, but at the same time, healer DPS was very relevant, because again, you wanna push that last what's it called? That last ad.
Secret Cross?
Yeah, you definitely don't want to deal with that shit. So you want to kill the boss before that happens.
Wait, what's that? Wait, hold on. Whoa, what's that? What's Sacred
what is
Cross?
that? I don't know what that is,
the guy in the middle with that.
What guy? Just kidding.
So here's the
no,
thing.
we're just being cocky. Anyway,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Frosty, you had a point to make about DPS pushing phases and skipping.
No, and I really do. I mean, so that's a good point. All right, you're doing really good at your job. You're really good at DPS. You're going to have an easier fight. I don't think you should have a fight tuned down so much that you don't have to think at all. I mean, the point is, and it pisses me off with A12 a lot. It really does. Because the most difficult part of the fight is the end. And I guess you can consider that an end rage if you really want to consider that an end rage or something like that. But like, when you're doing those puddles, that's actually kind of a cool mechanic to have to do. It sucks if you're trying to do high DPS because you have to disengage the boss and go and do puddles and everything else. But as a fight and trying to get it down, I think people should need to do that. And then when they have best in slot, they're all like 270, and they have their 275 weapons, skipping that last phase, cool. But being able to skip that stuff before you even get to that point, it would be silly to me.
I agree.
But how else
it's the
do
same
you
as a
reward
sword,
DPS though? How else do you reward?
I mean, you
high
can
DPS?
You give them small advantages.
The fight's a little bit shorter, but it's like, okay, well, if the rest of the fight is just auto attacks and just like irrelevant shit that's really easy, then high DPS isn't really rewarded. It's just the DPS, the fight is slightly shorter and counter-wise.
When you over-reward DPS, like the fight's too easy.
I think it's over-rewarded.
But you know what? Yeah. If you don't reward, okay, let me put it this way: the alternative to rewarding DPS, okay, you have to reward DPS. I think we can all agree on that. High DPS needs to be rewarded. There has to be a point to, a reward to playing your job at a very high level. Just like strict technical play and
I got a solution to high rewarding DPS.
Sentence, please?
Okay.
There are two options. Option one is A3S, where if your DPS is not high, then just fuck off. You're dead. You don't clear this fight ever. And the other alternative is skipping undesirable high risk mechanics. So if it's one or the other, I will take the second one because it's the best of both worlds. Low DPS groups still have a chance to clear the fight. High DPS groups are rewarded for it. I think that is the perfect middle.
Okay. No, the perfect one would be both. A3, if you are not good enough, get the fuck off. At the same time, I still think that you need to do mechanics. So let's just say, for example, A12. Okay, if you got good DPS, I mean, after the second inception, okay, let me just refresh. The first crystal comes in, the first inception comes in, you do the gravitational anomaly, you do the second inception, right? And then you do one more gravitational anomaly, right? If your DPS is good, just skip the second gravitational anomaly, just go straight into puddles. So you are rewarded for skipping one really easy mechanic, but you are still forced to do, like, I agree, Frosty, the puddles is one of the core fights in
cool
that is the climax already. You want to clear this shit, you do the puddles properly. When I mean puddles, I don't mean the first puddle. You must do the second puddles with the communion. If you want to call yourself, I mean, obviously first week we all did that, but if every week you want to call yourself a raider that done this every week. I think that every week, not that it matters in the end. I still think that every week you should. I don't care how good your DPS is. If your DPS is too good, great. Skip the first puddle without a communion. Straight away go and do the second puddles with the
that's fair.
communion.
I think you're right.
You know what I
think
mean?
You're right. Yeah.
We
That's
can
better
reward
execution of it. Yeah.
Yes, but
Yeah,
we still
that's better execution. That's a good point.
we still have to do like
Yeah.
I go back. You guys have to do Saw. What the fuck is skipping? Yo, that is a bad mentality. If
That's
you guys
terrible,
think
yeah.
that skipping Saw, no skipping Saw means to disbanding party. If these people were to go into raiding scene one day, you're gonna meet into a situation where people is like saying, no skipping communion puddle, let's fucking disband the turn 12 group. You know, this
I
is
disagree,
going to
okay.
snowball
Okay,
in the future,
well,
you know?
I understand why groups do that though, is because it's not even just about skipping SOAR. Okay, never mind skipping SOAR. If your group can't skip the SOAR, then that says you don't know how to do a proper opener. Now, if you don't know how to do a proper opener,
too.
yeah, especially if you have 5 DPS. If you at this point in the game's like life, if you don't know how to do a proper opener on your job, I don't really trust you to do mechanics either. So that's why they disband the party, is because it's just like, wow, you guys can't do a proper opener. Do I really want to prog this rest of this fight with you? We're gonna have low DPS for the remainder of the fight, and people who can't do a proper opener, I'm not sure if you can do SOAR either. Because you're probably not that skilled, and you're probably not trying that hard enough. If you can't do a proper opener,
I
if you
disagree.
can't skip
In
SOAR,
my
you're
community,
probably not that good, and I probably don't want to.
that's not.
Oh my god.
I'm just playing
Yeah,
devil's
I mean,
advocate here, but
we are
I
putting-
understand that that's the solution that the community has chosen, and
Yeah.
I find it very interesting. I think it's poor fight design, but I think it's really interesting that people do that, and it's effective. Because the groups that do this are clearing. The groups that said, you know what, if we don't skip the SOAR, that's okay. They're not going to clear the fight because they are full of people who don't know how to do a full opener. You think they're going to know how to do tethers? You think
Hopefully,
they're
it's
smart
for
enough
those
to do
people
that?
to get
They don't
I
even
mean,
know how to do a
parsers,
proper
to get
opener.
more parsers too.
I mean, dude, we have white mages DP. No, we have white mages since Midas or even since Gordius, Zoo 0 DPS, and they still manage to clear every single raid content. I've seen on stream white mage doing 5 DPS just from their assize, and they still manage to clear the fights. They still manage to clear the H fight. Granted, we have to do 3 puddles.
Xeno, I think we just take our cameras off and we just leave Bok and Arthas up here, and they can just sit here and go back and forth about this.
No, this is
he's
good
not wrong.
because we have
He's not
different
wrong.
points
Though.
of view, right?
Because it's a different party finder. It's a different community. I mean, obviously, if you guys think that not skipping Saw means that you can't clear the fight and then you guys disband, that is not wrong. But
That's just
it
the
doesn't
mentality of the NA
It's
shit, though, man. Like, it's just because our party finders, we just want to like clear and get the fuck out and do as little work as possible. And if one thing goes wrong, we fucking baby rage, we bitch, and we blame other people.
No, that's the mentality right now. And I hate it.
I mean, that's just how it is. Like NA players, for the majority, they're shit players that think that the other players that they're grouping with are worse than they are, when in reality they're just as bad. That's just how NA Party Finder is. That's like me. I don't give a fuck. Like if we go in there, right, and we don't skip SOAR, that's fine. I don't I do not care. That's fine. But that's not the mentality of that's not the mentality of NA players, man. It's like people, they don't give a fuck. They don't use parsers. They don't use we're like, fucking me and Bok were helping people the other day clear Zervon, and this fucking guy comes in. He don't even have food. His DPS, he ended at like 1100. He was a summoner, 1100 or 1200 at the end of phase 1 on Zervon. Like, are you fucking serious right now? Get the fuck out of my party, you piece of shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh my god.
Like we replaced him and we fucking we killed it and everything was fine. But I mean, at the same time, like, I really hope that this promotes people to get parsers. I really hope that this promotes people to fucking hold other people responsible.
Yeah.
DPS
Like that's what needs to happen. If you go the mentality. Okay, so one thing that I really like about Rift and I really like about WoW is that there's parsers and people are held accountable because parsers aren't like they don't bullshit around. They don't say we're gonna ban parsers. Like, but Square Enix, they need fucking parsers. Like, Square Enix is the reason why their players are so bad. It's not that the players are
They
bad.
don't facilitate. They don't
yeah.
facilitate players' improvement. They don't. That's the. I would say one of the biggest problems in this game is the skill gap between amongst its players, and their solution is to make encounters simpler and to make rotation simpler. I think a better solution is to to facilitate player improvement. You know, either through a better novice hall. You know, maybe a novice hall that is tailored towards preparing people to raid. But there's no such thing, and out of that, the skill gap is so huge, and they have to. You know, how do you cater to both the top and the bottom, right? You can't.
Yeah, like this game doesn't even have a doesn't even teach you how to do rotation. Yeah, like you can level 1 to 59 just pressing 1, 2, 3, and then suddenly when you get to level 60, you have to know everything, and then people just doesn't know. Maybe it's not their fault, but the game doesn't help as well. The game doesn't teach the Hall of Novice doesn't even teach rotation.
Right.
So, yeah, that's.
I will say this much about
Like-
Zervan though. I love DPS accountability. I love it. I think it's such a core necessity to this game. I think there should be rewards for high DPS, and people should be encouraged to do high DPS, and that's what's occurring right now on at least Ether Party Finder, and I love that. Arthas, I'm sorry we don't agree.
No.
I love that.
No.
But
It's just a community difference.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
a disagreement with
yeah.
your point. I think it's just
Yes.
a community difference.
But the
yeah.
source skip is an oversight by the dev team, because I don't think that should be something that can be skipped that
No,
way.
he
I think
should
that's
Yeah.
fucking auto push, man. You should have to
Yeah,
do that
stupid.
shit.
Yeah,
Be-
you have
like-
to soft.
Like the yeah, man, it's just like, but the fact that you can skip it, I really hope that more people, like, I really hope that fucking shitty DPS get kicked out of parties. And I hope they feel bad, and I hope they think about it, and I hope they think to themselves, you know what? Maybe I should get a parser. Maybe my damage is god awful.
Yeah.
And then when they get a parser, they're like, holy fuck, I'm bad at this game. And then they fucking get better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They fucking get better.
People aren't gonna like that, but like people are gonna go be up in arms about that. But if you think about it, like if I show up if I'm a healer and I just don't heal and everyone dies, I'm gonna get kicked out of that party. All right. And if I'm a tank and if I don't hold aggro and Zervan runs around and kills everybody, and I can't manage the ad space, I'm probably gonna get kicked out of that group too. But you know what? DPS, you're never accountable for low DPS on any job, and until now. And I'm actually really impressed that the community took basically their approach is skip SOAR or get the fuck out. I'm impressed by that. I don't like the fight design, but I'm impressed that the community has wisened up and said, you know what, groups that don't skip
Yeah,
SOAR
good.
are probably
That's true. That's true.
I'll take my chances with the group that can skip SOAR.
So how do you keep good players interested in this game if everything turns out to be so easy because they're good at doing DPS?
Join shitty groups and see SOAR. You'll
Okay.
learn something new. You'll learn something new every time you go in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I right now, that's the biggest disappointment. And maybe I just talk to really good players too much. I'm not a great player. I'm okay. I think I'm an okay player. But, like, really good players are angry. They're upset because, hey, these fights are too easy. That this makes no sense. We can just completely cheese this fight and be done with it. Like, and I know that the game can't just appease those players, but there should be something else in there, like encouraging people to do higher DPS. Have time challenges to your fights. Oh, we cleared this before this time. All right, you get a pet. You get a free pet now, or you get a free something. Just something stupid in there.
Dude, casual's gonna be so pissed off. when
Yeah,
it's a pet that they
Screw
want.
it.
Level
Casuals will be good
asshole.
players now. All right, end the solution. Bad
It's not-
players
it's
are
not-
not
it's
bad
not-
I'm
players
not
anymore
like,
because they
you know
want
what
pets.
the thing is, man, is like, I'm not even talking about like super high DPS, right? I'm not even talking about super high DPS, because like you don't have to have super high DPS to be like a good damage dealer. Like it's like I'm talking about the people, you know what I'm saying, man? I'm talking about the people who, one, they don't use food. They don't use potions. Like they don't care about their opener. Like they just
Swiss
don't
cheese-
fucking
Swiss
care.
cheese gear.
They have no melds. They just don't
No
give a
melds.
fuck. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
They just wanna
they
get
log
carried.
on this game like 1 hour a week, and they just think, and they just don't give a fuck. Like, how about you just not play the fucking game? That would be just fantastic. Like why are you wasting so many people's fucking time? Like this is not a single player game. This is an MMO. This is a multiplayer. Like, this is a multiplayer game. You have to work with other people. Like, so when you come in with this single player mentality, you just need to get the fuck out. Like just get the fuck out. Like right away. Because like if you don't even care, why would you want to waste 700 people's time, man? Like that doesn't make any sense. Like, and then like you get these people that think you're the bad guy, right? And it's like, I hope you feel bad for wasting 7 other people's time, man.
They will never feel bad for that ever, because they don't have to put up with it after they're done with the party. They're like, whatever, I'm gone. I'll go over and I'll pay Xeno to get me through it later on.
I mean, hey, man. I won't say no.
Right.
I just think they need to make the fight difficult. If you want to keep people, you have to make the fight difficult. And if these casuals still think that it's too difficult, like Xeno said, they just get the fuck out of it. I mean, dude, since the first show I've been saying this. If the game wants to be better, the filthy casuals. When I mean filthy casuals, I don't mean people who play 2 hours a day or do nothing. I simply means the people that don't give a fuck. Like they don't even try, and they want stuff handed to them. These are the people. These are the filthy casuals I'm talking about, and people who ask for stuffs when they probably not even gonna sub after they ask for it. You know, these are the people that need to get out of the game. This is the only way to improve the game. The game right now needs to be, the bar have to set higher, not lower.
Right. But
wait, let's be really honest. Creator and Zervan is just way too low already.
I partially agree. I think the if the game facilitated players' improvement, then the average skill level will be higher, and there wouldn't be a need to dumb down content to pander to lower skilled players, and like if the game itself actually taught the players how to play the game, then there would be no excuse, right?
I mean, but should we hand them how to play the game? Should people need to learn how to play the game too, right?
Why not?
I mean, that's part of skill.
People need to learn their rotations.
Yeah,
the rotation is one of the most important
give players
things.
some incentive, or give players some way
by
to
putting pets at the end of a fight for killing it faster.
Rewards is one thing, but like I like the idea of a novice hall that basically is designed to prepare players for raiding and 8-man content and team focused content. Because right now, if the skill gap is too high, you have a problem where you either have content that's too hard for the average player, or content that's too easy for the top end player. So the best way to do that is to raise the average level skill level of raiders by implementing stuff like that, rather than dumbing down content. Because one way or another, you're going to piss off the top skill players, or you're going to piss off the average player, right?
Yeah. I'm going to have to cut the show into segments, guys. There's going to have to be multiple little segments here.
We told you,
maybe we should move on.
We're on point 2, right? We're on point 2, I think.
This is turning into an Unchained right now.
Yeah, like Unchained completely. I'm going to actually skip the dungeon talk here for a second. We can come back to it a little bit later. The thing that actually Arthas definitely wanted to talk about, I know Xeno showed some interest in it, was the other part of the content, which involved the relic being involved in here. And I know Arthas, you had this whole thought process. You wanted to just vent a little bit about the relic, right? Or am I just
I mean, it's not that long. It wouldn't be as long as the one, obviously. Yeah. Right.
So when we're talking about the relic is kind of one of those things that I haven't really touched. Like, I did a little bit of it because there's something extra I could do. I go into the quest, and if it gets too complicated too, like I need to go get this piece to this piece, and I have to do this to get this piece to upgrade this other piece, I just, whatever, I don't care anymore. I get better gear not doing the relic from the actual fights that I do. I don't need to do the relic. It's always just an extra thing to do on the side. But the relics, some of them look really cool, some of them look really stupid, and some of them have horrible stats to them. But I'm sure that's going to change when we get into the end of the relic, when it doesn't matter anymore, because this tier was so easy that you could completely go through without any kind of relic. So in the very end, it's only going to make speed killers want the relics a little bit more if you can completely customize it. But at the same time, no one wants to speedrun anymore because it's just RNG with Astros at this point.
Yeah.
So, but going back to it, the relic, I'm still not that interested in doing it, but there are a lot of people who are going out there and they're farming, A1 a billion times. Did they succeed with Relic at all? I clearly don't think so. But
yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the Relic quest. What is wrong is, oh my god, I don't want to go back. What is wrong is how easy the primals have become. So, and the primals dropping weapons. I'm not sure why Square Enix feel the need to let all the primals drop weapon this specific patch. Like, why can't they do it like 2.0, accessories? Because I think I think a lot of people will agree, most raiders will agree, the hardest piece of equipment to get in Savage right now is the accessories. We are really lacking we are lacking a lot of options to get accessories. I mean, obviously,
They need to
after
start
you get
bringing
four
them
pages.
back to the primals, man. I don't know why they fucking started to take them out. Like
Yeah.
remember how cool it was when the best in slot were some of the primals, man?
Yep.
Because then you could do them. You know what I mean? Like you had to do them right for your best in slot build, man.
yeah.
So I think the weapon is one of the biggest problem why Relic is no longer so desirable. But I mean, they kind of took the opposite approach of making it into a glamour piece. But I mean, it's something to do. But I'm just glad that this patch is light farming where you can do everything. Like for example, this is a perfect Relic
Do
step.
you like it?
for
Really?
people like,
Really?
I mean, I'm a grinder. I mean, since
Yeah, he has
old school
4
MMO,
characters on four different
mean,
accounts,
I
and he's
love
playing
to-
4
Okay.
characters at the same time all the
Okay.
time. So
I have something to say
I
about
love
that.
the grind. But like, I mean, in just of design for the Relic, I think that this step, design-wise, all right, not talking about incentive-wise, just talking about design-wise, I think it's
Yep.
great. Like, everybody can do everything. Like, even Xeno, he should be done by now
Uh-oh.
with all the...
I probably
I
should
think
be,
me and you are
man.
gonna
Yeah,
get
man.
into another fight here,
I
Alex.
probably
so,
should
it's
be.
so
but
good.
I
I think
am
the
going
design
to-
is great. But
I'll disagree.
overall, I
like
think,
the
yeah.
okay, Bok, you disagree.
people will always take the shortest path, and that shortest path is A1 Savage.
Mhm.
If it's on bonus, A1S is the best. If it's not on bonus, A1S still the best. So when people look back on this relic, they're not going to say, "Oh, look, you could get lights, and look how many ways you could get lights. This is such a great step." But at the end of the day, the people who want to do it the most efficiently, time efficiently, they're going to go do A1S times, until they puke.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that is actually a really poor way of doing it.
Yeah.
The idea is cool. I agree with you that I value a relic step that is diverse and forces you to do a lot of things. My favorite relic step ever is the books. You remember those
The
books
books.
that you had to do?
Oh,
I thought
yeah,
that was
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, that's
You had
the
to
best.
hunt
That's
a little
the best.
bit. You had to do some fates. You got to do some dungeons. You got to do some primals. You got to do a little bit of everything, and it forces you to do a little bit of everything. But people are going to take the shortest path.
I'm
This
hoping that
is
4.0...
you may see it as the lights as you could do whatever you want. I see it as a A1S times 10 or sorry times 100 in order to
Yeah,
complete.
it is. That's why I'm hoping that in 4.0, I mean, they screw up the whole 3.0 relic step. I mean, I do it just because I like to grind, but I think they screw up the whole relic. Like up to this step, it's all about farming loss. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you see, like, did you see the 2.0 series? You have the books, you have the Alexandrite step. Even Alexandrite, there's many ways to do it.
Yeah.
Like this time, our Alexandrite, aka Umbrite, is just about doing the chemical facility. I think this
even lore was
3.0 is really, really bad. I'm not sure whether you guys played 1.0. The 1.0 relic step was so good. The 1.0 relic step involves luck, involves money, involves patience.
It was
involves
diverse.
you to get, involves
Yeah.
you to get good. 1.0, there is job specific
The
lead
most
quests that you
important-
have to do.
Yeah, the most important adjective for a good relic quest is diverse. Is you're doing a lot of things. I don't like it because if you leave it open and say you can choose whatever you want to do, you could do anything. That sounds really nice. That sounds really cool.
We'll
But
still
people are
choose
just
the
gonna
chopper.
take the most efficient step and they're just gonna do it a billion times, and then they're
Yeah.
gonna look back on this game. Like I realize you could say, oh, if you didn't like doing A1S, so why did you do it? Well, it's hard to resist the temptation to take the most time efficient way to do it, right?
Yeah, it
It's really hard
Yeah.
to resist that. And when people look back at this game and say, hey, what did you do on the weekend? Oh, I played Final Fantasy 14. Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. What did you do? Oh, I just farmed A1S fucking 200 times until I got my relic, right? But if it was the full step, it's like, oh, I did a little bit of this, I did a little bit of that, and I had a lot of fun because I met a lot of people along the way. Like diverse is a big deal. giving players choice is not always the best thing because they're just gonna choose the simplest, easiest, least resistance, and they're just gonna do it a billion times.
I'm
I'm glad
sorry.
it's over though.
That was
I'm
really
glad
funny.
it's
That was
over.
really funny. I gotta say that because you just defined what a great weekend was. Like we pretend that MMOs we're gonna go do lots of these little things and I had a lot of fun. I met a whole bunch of people. Does that happen in this game? Do you at all? Do you join a group and you're like, man, I am happy I met these people half the time?
Yeah. The extent of my social interaction in A1 in doing A1S grind for Relic is like hi, bye, and this sucks.
Oh my
I
god.
didn't
I'm
do
glad
any
it's over,
A1S,
though.
man. Well, I have 2 characters, so like I had to do a bunch of shit on my other character, man. I'd unlock all that shit, and then I still haven't killed 12 on my other character this week yet, but
Okay, so I mean, we can also tie this into a conversation that you've been having in chat for quite a while. I saw over there, Xeno. It's been actually kind of interesting with that whole.
I'm just
back-
bullying nerds, man.
Yeah, you're
I'm
just bullying.
I'm just putting them in their place, man. I'm
Okay.
saying what we're all thinking. I'll
Look-
be that
Oh,
guy.
man.
So, all
I'll
right,
be that guy.
Relic is supposed to be something that you can do, and you don't have to be really great at the game, but you get a reward at the end. You get this really cool thing at the end, even though you're not really great at the game, or even if you are great at the game, maybe you want it because it looks cool, but it's a kind of a tedious thing. It has these things. It's more of a casual kind of mindset to getting that weapon at the end.
I think it's really lazy how the 3.0 steps have puffed up until now. It's diversity, but what Bok just say it's totally just people choose the shortest path.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm glad,
they
though,
are.
because
They're always going to do it, Arthas. They're going to say, what's
No,
the
no.
easiest way? Even if it's like
Yeah,
you have a
yeah.
lot of choices, what's the easiest way to do this right now?
Yeah. But in
But-
4.0, they say that, the interview, they said that 4.0, they might take away all this tedious grind from a Relic quest already. They're going to try something new, a brand new series that tries something new. So that's something I look forward. I
Me
look forward
too.
to because, yeah,
Hopefully
right
they
now
have
it's
2 different
really bad.
paths, like a more difficult path, kind of like the very first Relic was awesome, man. How you had to it was a mixture of quests, and you had to kill primals.
Yeah.
And that was
people
really
didn't
cool.
like it though. People didn't like it.
Yeah,
And
yeah, people
because
still don't
they
like
had
it.
they struggled with Titan hard mode, and I know you can say we're gonna say get good, right? But here's the thing: is I see two demographics here. I know this is kind of really generally speaking. You have players who want to attain gear using skill, and that's what Savage is for. And then you have the I had this conversation the other day with Jeff. All right, I see it as two different psychological archetypes, right? And I know this people might not like this terminology that I'm going to use, but I'm going to use it anyway. There's the WoW player who wants to the World of Warcraft player who wants to attain gear using skill through raiding. And that's where you get your best in slot gear and stuff. And those people are satisfied right now. And then you have the other ones, which are the Final Fantasy XI players who wish to attain gear through grinding, through time, through effort. And that's what the Relic step is. And I think it's important to separate those things. And that's why, as much as I like doing the Relic chain where you have to kill Titan hard mode, is a little too hard for some people. People want the grind. And I think the Relic should be the grind, and the Savage should be, the hard stuff.
Yeah.
I like that separation.
No, and that's
There should
what
just
they
be
do,
2
man.
different options for the Relic, man.
Yeah.
Like for the like let's say, okay, so let's say this, right? Like let's say for the lights, let's say that the Savage is always like the highest or the second highest light bonus, right? So then super skilled players, you could get a group together or whatever and just fucking farm A12 or A11 or something, or maybe you could get a token to speed up the process or something, but you would still have your grind, your grind shit too. So it would be for both players. It would be for the more hardcore, but also the more casual too. It's just the hardcore would be slightly faster, because you're doing harder shit. So I mean, I think there should be both. I don't think there should be a strictly hardcore because that would be stupid because the Relic is meant to be a catch up. But for people, there's a lot of people that just do the Relic because I mean it's the Relic, and eventually it will be best in slot. I mean, albeit at the end of the patch or whatever. But But they should also reward players for being skilled at the game and not make those players do grindy bullshit. Like there should be two
Okay.
different options.
I can feel that. I can feel like if you spam A12S, that you get relics faster, just because you can clear A12S repeatedly multiple times. Even though the fight, if you have good players, is easier than any other fight that you can think of, because you do you go into the right place a couple of times in the fight and you just dummy boss the entire time because you don't got to do puddles at the end, which was the core mechanic again of the fight.
Yeah.
A12S does turn into like a target dummy. I feel like it does, and that's what I think. The whole idea of rewarding people for not having to do those mechanics seems like it's going too far in that direction. A boss should not turn into a target dummy because of how good you are in the game.
Yeah, core mechanics should still be there. Back to the topic, core mechanics should still be there. The other day when I was doing A12 with my Gilgamesh friends, I was telling you guys, right, I need that first clear, right? So they didn't say anything about the puddles, So when we finally get to the part, when we finish the second Inception, I was panicked. I was like, oh shit, man. Do I do the left or the right puddles? So somebody told me in the chat, like, what puddles? I'm like, fuck you, man. Just give me a puddle to go. And then we didn't do any puddles. I'm like, holy shit, man. In the JP data center, I never seen a group that skip puddles, be it static or really good static. I never seen skipping puddles. So I felt so stupid. I'm like, Okay, first of all, skipping that mechanic shouldn't be there in the first place. Second of all, I thought that was fucking awesome that you can just skip. I was like, wow, this is a brand new experience for me. Do I want that? Probably not. But this is a brand new experience. Like,
what's funny though, it's like
NA skill is really huge. The NA skill range is really huge.
What's really crazy about that is
Yeah.
A4S Nissi was skipped first by a JP group, and then everyone was like, "Holy crap, that's something that could really happen." But that wasn't a damage-based thing. That was just a cheese mechanic. So that's kind of strange to me that you're telling me it's like kind of reversed there, because I always thought people would always look for the easiest way out of a fight.
No, our parks can't do. Our general community can't do that good DPS compared to NA. Like I always say on stream, the NA's got the better statics, and eventually at the end of the day, when you can come and sit down together and say, okay, we should do this so that we can skip this and that. The NA usually have the best approach. The JP don't do that. The JP week 1 strat and week 170 strat is the same. Even if their item level 200 or when their item level 300, the stress is always the same. They will never get out of their comfort zone. So we will never skip something, but whatever party we go in, we do the same thing, we can get it clear. Like NA is the difference is huge. Like if you can't do this, you can't join this group. If you are only doing this, you are not going to clear. So the range is the skill range is very huge regarding the NA and JP.
But
I like a lot of the NA approach though.
Bringing this back to Relic. Let's bring this back to Relic real quick.
Okay.
In that thought process right there is, do you think a lot of content is tuned to how JP players play the game and how all that feedback comes to it, and it just comes back and we kind of get the after effect of all that, and that's why we're in this position?
I didn't think about that, but now that you talk about it, I think it does feels like that. Like I'll give you an example. Like every time when I'm streaming and grinding, or when I'm off stream in Discord chatting while grinding, I always get this vibe that everybody say, "Holy shit, it's A1S bonus." There is like 5-10 party finder in the NA. So when people say that, I know it's bonus, right? I'm like, holy shit, man, this is like a great time for me to mash my face on the keyboard. So when I press my party finder button, no JPs are doing it. It's bonus, but no JPs are doing it. So went around and asked me, wait, how do you guys farm light? Nobody wants to farm light. When I say, people ask me in stream, why don't you make your own party? I'm like, dude, it just doesn't work like that. When the JP wants to grind, they don't. And if they want, they go to the party finder. They take it so relaxing and slowly. If I would translate it, it's called a super casual way. Like, hey, why do I need to bother grinding? I can just PF it. Even if the queue takes fucking 10 minutes, they will wait for it. While the NAs is like super efficient. This is bonus. Let's get a group 6 DPS, 1 tank, 1 healer. Let's go. So the JP doesn't do that. They don't form group. And even when they form group, they don't care about the setups. There's some groups that I went in, there's like 3 fucking healers. We take 3 minutes to clear A1S. And people in there can be like, wow, this is really fast. Oh my god, such a good light. I'm like,
Very good impersonation there, Arthas.
It's just yeah. I'm sorry, man. It's just really different. It's just
The
now that
culture
you say
difference- the culture difference.
yeah.
is
Now
so
now that
reflected. This
now
was a
that
topic on
Frosty
Reddit
say-
very recently.
Yeah.
The
yeah. Now
culture
that
difference
Frosty
is
says, I
reflected
think
in
it
the way
really
that
makes a lot of sense. Like,
Yeah.
is it because the JP way? That's why the
team-oriented-
Yoshida felt that.
JP is a team-oriented
Mm-hmm.
community and it is very individual-oriented, right?
Well, they think
So,
like
like-
about yourself and how you can make yourself look good and how you can, in the end, say, "Hey, I look really good in this group and I'm helping the group because of this," versus maybe like JP who's saying, "Hey, this is what we have and this is how I'm going to be a team player and this is how I'm going to work with the group." Yeah.
Yeah, but back to the relic though, I think the point you make really, I think makes sense now. Maybe Yoshida designed the relic quest as super casual for the GP player because I mean, even as of today, even I would love to grind. I just couldn't find A1S group. I'm not kidding. I can't find A1S group. While everybody is like, wow, bonus.
There's like
you know,
20 of them in freaking Ether
Yeah.
party
I
fighters.
was
Like
hoping
when it's on
that
sturdy,
this grind
when
on
it's
here.
on sturdy, holy shit, man! They got like a
Oh.
billion, and none of them want more than
Yeah.
one healer and one tank.
Well,
So
Yeah.
I tried to slippery dick my way in as a DPS and switch to healer, and I got kicked immediately.
Whoa!
I don't blame you guys. You know, I kind of smiled a bit and just went back into party fighter.
Okay, that's
So,
the
let's-
difference there. You
let's
know, when
talk
I
about
when,
that,
sorry,
guys.
one last point, Frosty.
yeah,
one last
yeah,
point.
okay.
According to that, I think that's the culture difference. I do the same
Yeah,
shit.
total culture difference.
I went in DPS, and then I switched to warrior. I always ask super. I'm like, oh guys, I'm really sorry, but is there a chance that I can go warrior? They are always like, okay, no problem. Anything is
That's the
good
best
to
class
know,
in the
of
game,
course."
man.
I'm like,
Well, yeah.
wow, okay, that's different.
They
Then
didn't even
That's
respond to
pretty
me. They just kicked me immediately because I was a second
Wow.
Astro.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh god.
Okay, so let's actually transition this into Party Finder because that's like the biggest thing. This is like the holy grail of changing the game and making it more interesting was the cross-server Party Finder. This is like, holy crap, now I can get in here and I will find a group in seconds, whether I'm on Solera or if I'm on Gilgamesh. There will be a group up there. And I think that was a really awesome change. And I asked you, Xeno, I was like, what's your biggest gripe? I did this the other day. I was like, Xeno, what's your biggest gripe right now with the game? Just because I was curious, I was kind of fishing for ideas about complaints with the game. And you're like, hey, it took too long for this shit. It should have been in
They
here
did.
already.
They did.
I think we all agree with that. But, I mean, now that it's here,
Do we? Can I play devil's advocate again?
you can play... Hold on.
Okay.
You can bring out your damn
go first.
pitchfork here in a second,
I'll do it
dude.
later. I'll do it later.
All
Yeah,
right.
go.
All right.
Finish.
So, no, the Party Finder, it seems like they did a really good job with how they presented it, because I was worried it's just going to be memes everywhere, but how they separated it seems to have been working so far with how it works out. And I've been able to join in groups and have a lot more fun with it so far. Now, my question, of course, to you guys, and I'll start with Xeno. Xeno and I haven't really been, talking too much. We've been letting the Bok versus Arthas thing go on for a bit here. But Xeno, so far with this Party Finder, have you used it at all? Have you even messed around?
Fuck yeah, I have.
All right.
Oh,
Stop,
fuck
man.
yeah.
So have you
Yeah.
had good experiences with it, or has it all been bad? Or
I've had awesome experiences and I've had bad, I've had both.
all right.
I've
So
had both. I've had more good than bad though.
all right. So I mean, the good is obvious, right? Okay. Yeah, we can easily get into a group now, and we can find all kinds of parties for stuff. What's the bad stuff that you've been running into?
I mean, it's just like typical shit. I mean, like you got like the other day, man, where like I was in this Zervon, right? And like we're like solo tanking it. Fucking Paladin in there, man. I'm sorry, dude. It's just Paladin, dude. It's just oh god,
What
dude,
the
this
fuck
Paladin,
ever, dude.
man. Like
All
I don't
right, I
know why
got
you
you.
could solo tank
You
anything
need
on
a
a fucking
jar
Paladin,
where you put
man.
a
That's
quarter
such a-
in every
oh
time
my
you dismount.
God,
Yeah,
dude.
seriously, it's like swearing, dude.
No,
Come on.
but anyway, so no,
Yeah.
like so we go into this party finder. So I'm in this party finder group, me and my friend, and fucking the Paladin's like getting shitty because we're not skipping sore, and it's like, well, one, you fucking idiot, you're in Shield Oath. At the end of the first phase, you're under 1k damage. What the fuck did you think was gonna happen, moron? Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, he's trying to blame other people because we're not skipping sore, and it's like, do you have any fucking clue Like, you're the reason we're not skipping sword.
And again, this is the JP versus NA mentality,
zero
but we won't jump
DPS
into that. We won't jump into that.
Yeah,
That's a
and-
great example.
and
Yeah.
you know what the fucked up part is, man? Yeah, the fucked up part is, man, is that like I didn't even care that we saw sword. That's fine. I don't fucking care, man. You know, like he was upset. You know, he was like, why aren't we skipping? You know, like holy fuck, dude.
Did you
Like,
ask him if he has a parser?
I mean, like, see, that's the thing, man. Whenever I just join like random like party finder groups, like normally I'm pretty blunt if people ask questions, or like if they say shit like that. And I mean, I said the reason why we're not skipping swords is because of you. I mean, I didn't say the exact reason, but I just said that's why we're not skipping swords because of you. You're in Shield Oath on a phase where he doesn't even do damage to you. We have a ninja. You fucking retard. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. What the fuck are you doing?
I mean, yeah, that's the biggest thing. Is like I could understand if you didn't go into sort of because you didn't have a ninja or some way for him to gain immunity. Because some people do some ridiculous damage, but if you're doing ridiculous damage with the group, you probably are skipping sword anyways. But go on, sorry. And so it's just basically shitty people?
See, no, here's the thing, right? Okay, here's the thing. You know what, man? Like, I don't even care that his damage was low. Like, I don't even give a fuck. It only became an issue when he started to, like, blame others. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, like, okay, so I don't give a shit, really, how bad someone's DPS is as long as they're trying. Like, as long as they're trying, you know, they can have fucking, like, shit tier DPS, you know? But if they're not even trying... Like it's like in fucking attitude thing, right? So like if you go in and you see someone that's like performing like really poorly, right? But they're trying, you know. So when you're like, yo, instead of doing this here, you need to do this here, you know. You need to use trick attack at this particular GCD, or you need to open up with fucking, you know, the Shadow Fang opener. You know, shit like that, right? And they're like, oh, okay, so that'll increase my like yes, you know, okay, then that's good. But if you go in there and then they're like, you can't fucking tell me how to play. You think you pay my sub? You know, like, are you like, get the fuck out of here, man? Like, why don't you just get the fuck out of this party and just uninstall the fucking game? You know, like, are you kidding me right now? You know, and like that was his mentality, man. Like that was his attitude. He was like, I'm a tank. I don't have to do damage. This is your fault we're not skipping. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude. You are so fucking stupid right now.
I'm gonna do a little translating right now. A little translating for some people. Xeno's a really, really good player in this game. He's absolutely fucking fantastic. He can, like, again, when you jumped on Dark Knight when you haven't played it at all, you're already top parses and everything else for Dark Knight with your first few tries, right? I mean, you have a good idea how the game works. You understand all this stuff. And so it is, when you see people not trying and being a little shit, you're going to take that pretty personally. I would think, right, Xeno?
Well, yeah, because see, like, it doesn't matter. Well, all right. So if my mentality is this, right? Like, I mean, I don't go around, you know, I don't like brag about like my damage and shit, you know, except to my friends. Like, you know, if I like out damage with my friends, I'm like, yo, I just totally shit on you. You know, that's different. You know, it's whatever. You know, it's your friend. You know?
All the time.
But like, you know, when you join a party finder, right, with people you don't know, and it's just like you have to expect that they're gonna do, like, you have to hope that they do an average amount of DPS. If they do more, then great, that's awesome. But if they do average, that's all you can hope for. You know, like people that go into, here's the issue, man. It's like the people go in the party finder and they expect extremely high damage when they themselves don't do extremely high damage. You can't expect more out of people than what you're capable of, you know? It doesn't work that way, hypocritical, man.
So, no.
You know? And so that's the thing, man. It's like, it's the attitude, it's the oh my fucking God, dude. Nothing triggers me more than arrogance. Like, if there is an arrogant person in the party, I will fucking shit on them and I will make them feel bad and I will love it and I will tell my friends about it. I will be like, yo, watch my stream right now. I'm shitting on this kid because he's a fucking idiot. You know, I will say that in Mumble. I'll say that in Mumble live on stream. I want them to know how arrogant and how bad they are, man. Because whenever I go into party finders like that, I don't do that shit. Like, I expect people to care about the group. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I like, you have to you have to care about the other 7 members of the group. like once you start to have that attitude, like I'm better than you and shit like that, man, like that's when it becomes an issue, you know? Like we're all climbing the same mountain here. We're all climbing the same mountain, right? It's just, and we should like help each other, you know what I mean? Like we should try to help each other climb that mountain, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's like, that's a perfect example though, man. It's like that fucking dude, that tank, he's like, fucking the DPS is the reason. It's like, well, not really. It's because you're playing like a bitch on a phase that deals no fucking damage. So you're actually a hindrance. That's when it becomes the issue, is that when that person becomes a hindrance to the group, but they think that they're not. And it's just like that ignorance is just mind blowing. That's why I really wish that it should be fucking mandatory to have a parser. You should have to have a parser before you even load the game up. You should pull up the launcher and it should say, is your parser loaded? And if you click no, it won't let you load the game. If you click yes, it will check to see if you have a parser.
So I
And
totally
if you
agree.
don't have it, it'll fucking log you out, man.
I agree
That's
with
a
that.
little harsh.
I agree pretty much that people should know what they're doing and they should have some sort of like
Accountability.
way to evaluate what they're doing. I don't agree with a lot of shit that ACT does though. For example, I hate callouts so much, and I like when it calls out stuff for you, it makes the game so much easier, and it's just dumb to me.
Yeah,
But
like I actually don't use any triggers. I don't use any triggers, but at the same time, I don't really care if people do. I like me personally. I find them kind of a little irritating. Just they're not irritating. That's the wrong way. Distracting. I find them distracting. But like that's just me. Like I could give a shit less if they could use whatever the fuck they want to use. I don't fucking care.
I knew that, man. I fucking suck at this game. If I didn't have ACT triggers, I still died to everything with my ACT triggers.
I mean, that's the stuff that I don't want to see with a part. I just want to see numbers, and then I'll get back into it. We won't dive too much into it right now because I actually have a spot where I'm going to just like vent out a little bit when we get into PvP because ACT pisses me off so much in PvP. But that's completely different, and I think you guys might not even want to talk about PvP when we get to it, but we'll get to it. But back to what you're saying, yeah, there should be some way of people having accountability, and you're like, hey, I'm doing this. This is the effect of me doing it. This is what it looks like in the fight. Instead of just random numbers. Who the hell reads a battle log? Can you keep up with a battle log?
I know, dude.
I mean, like, why do we even have it in the game? Why do we view it?
Because, it doesn't make any sense because they say that parsers are allowed as long as you don't like harass people with them.
As long as you're not a douche about it.
As long as you don't harass people. And but at the same time, they put in the training dummies like the Stone Sea and Sky, but they don't give you a parser to actually calculate the shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like the reason why that people like some people are like that they have no fucking clue about the rotation or about like a lot of little things, you know, like some people don't know that if you have a buff on and you apply a dot, that dot persists after your buff falls off. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't know that if trick attack is on a boss and you put a dot up, that dot is going to maintain the trick attack damage even after trick attack falls off. Like not a lot of people know that kind of stuff. You know, like most people didn't even know you had to be facing the fucking target to continuously auto attack. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like a big reason why players are kind of, well, not all players, but like some players are so bad at this game is because of Square. It's because one, they don't have a parser, one, they don't teach you any fucking thing in this game, you know? And it's just like, I mean, we've kind of talk about this before, but yeah, man, it's just like, but going back to Party Finder, back to Party Finder.
If we can get back there somehow,
but going back to Party Finder, it's I've had really good and really bad experiences. The really good experiences are when I go and help, and I'm like, yo, this is how we're doing tethers, and here's why, because it's really fucking easy. It's fucking brain dead easy, you know. And like those experiences are good, but then when you have like some that are like, yo, we should do tethers like this, then you have, no, let's just do whatever, and it's just like, okay, so let's go in the last phase and not have a fucking strategy. We don't know each other, we're not in VoIP. Why make it easier?
Right.
why make it easier? We don't want that. This fight's got to be hard a little bit. Like fuck, man. We're already skipping sore. Let's wipe the pillars for like 2 fucking hours. That's that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
No,
but
yeah.
like it's just.
I mean,
It's
Party
just-
Finder
it's
opens
not
you
like
up to
both,
bad
right?
players and good players. So go ahead. Sorry.
So, well, but like basically to sum up what I was saying was that like I've had really good and I've had like I don't even really call it like bad experiences. Just like I've had like failed groups because like me, whenever I go into a Party Finder, I will stay with that group until the fucking zombie
Bitter end.
apocalypse. And yeah. Till the fucking apocalypse. I don't like if we have a 0.1% chance to kill it, I will stay in there. I will not be the first to leave. You ask any fucking person that has ever partied with me or ever watched my stream, I have not one time left a group that I thought had even the slightest, slimmest, itty bitty little teeny chance of killing it. I will stay with that group and I will be in Agony City with them. I'll be there. We're bonding, we're like warriors on the front line, we're bonding and shit. We're going to kill this. When we finally get it, it's just like, oh, it's amazing,
No. I agree, and I think that's fun. I mean, people, I this is just how I think about it. People are mechanics. People you're playing with are mechanics for the fight. These are things that you have to, especially in Party Finder. You're playing with people. All right, this is what's going on. This is what this Party Finder. Either I convince him to do this one way, or he's going to do it the other way, and I got to figure out how to work with it. But I still want to clear the fight. It's going to feel good. So I don't consider, people. Oh, he's a paladin. Disband group done. I consider it. Oh, okay, now paladin. What is that going to mean for the group, and how do I need to play the game now? And that adds something else to the game besides just standard farming the thing the same way 20,000 times in a row. I like actually going in there and finding the group and figuring out how to make the group work. I don't know if
well, like
that
first
makes any
clears are
sense,
the best,
but
man. Like first clears are the fucking best. And like so I brought up the paladin earlier, but like I wasn't trying to shit on paladin. But I was just trying to like point out that it's players like that. You know what I mean? That just don't care. That think that they're better than their group. That's why, like, okay, so everybody knows that person who is bad at the game, and they think that the group they're in is like they think that they are so much better than their group. Like they rage out at their group, and they think they're so much better than their group. When in reality, you're thinking in your head, you're like, wow, like you are no better than your entire group. Like you have no reason to complain. Like you have no reason to bitch. You have no reason to complain. I have no idea why you think you're entitled to this shit. Like those are the type of people. And sometimes you encounter them, and it's just like whatever, you just, in all honesty, you just got to shit on them. You got to boom, put them in check. You know what I'm saying? So then they think about it. And then they're like, well, I did kind of get kicked out of that group, or every Party Finder I join, our damage is low. Every single Party Finder I join, we have low damage. What's the common element there? Fuck, I'm in all those Party
I never
Finders.
skip sore.
Oh my
Why?
god! I'm in all those
Arthas, you
Party-
never skip sore. What's the common link there, dude?
No, I've seen Arthur's play. He's good, man. He's good.
No,
He's
Arthas
nice.
is really, really, really good. No, yeah.
Like the JP one is different. Like what I expect in the Party Finder is the same. When you click on that Party Finder join button, like Xeno said, you can't expect people to be doing like top pass numbers. Like as long as we join a Party Finder group in the JP, what we want is just to clear. How we do it, how many saws we do, how many paddles we do, it doesn't matter. We just have to clear it. But being said though, there's always this one person like Xeno is saying, just not good enough. But they don't just like come out and ask, yo guys, why are we not skipping this? Like I say, 0 DPS white mage. I've seen that. So when I see those people, I'm like, okay, like Frosty says, we just gotta adjust. Okay, this guy is not gonna suddenly go from 0 to 1000 DPS. So what can we do better? Okay, probably we need to focus more for the mechanics. You know, they don't call out people though, but at the same time, I mean, I'm fucking frustrated with people like this because they need to learn to DPS, even as a white mage. It's like 0. I mean, not 0, like 5 because of your size. Like that is not good enough. That is not even. I wouldn't say good enough. That's not even enough. That's not even.
That's
should
not.
be happening.
That's like not even. That's like maybe
Yeah.
the bare minimum if you're keeping your.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the thing is sometimes you still let people die. Dude, if you are doing 0 DPS as a white mage, I assume that you are over curing so much that nobody HP will even drop. Even if it uses fucking divine judgment without LB3, if you do okay, that's a little bit too much. If you do 0 DPS, I assume nobody should be dying. And people still die. So sometimes those trigger me. But again, they'll come back. At the end of the day, we still clear. And sadly in Final Fantasy 14, in Party Finder, like what Bok Choy was saying earlier, you really can't make a lot of friends. So if you happen to meet people like this, you just hope that you don't see them again in the next Party Finder. That's the only thing we can ask for. Otherwise, the Party Finder for me at the moment is just to see like, okay, because we come from successful server, right? Like Chocobo, like successful server like Gilgamesh. So I'm not sure about you guys. Like for me, when the cross-server Party Finder comes in, the most important thing I'm looking at is I want to know how the other JP servers are doing. I want to know whether is it just Chocobo or just or every other JP server. Because you're on
the Gilgamesh of JP service. Yeah.
So when I go to the PF, since the crossover come in, I see that if we don't even need to talk about strat. Like even if people post macro about the strat, it's all the same. Like it doesn't matter whether in Chocobo or other server, it's the same. So I expect that everybody knows what they're doing, and I mean unsurprisingly they are doing that. But there's one thing I do notice though. I'm not sure whether you guys are in Gilgamesh, right? I mean Xeno have a Gilgamesh character, right?
Well, he now does.
Yeah, I'm on Sar.
Yeah. So the only thing I notice is like I say for successful PF server like Chocobo and Gilgamesh, I think that the quality for us, for Chocobo and Gilgamesh specifically, I think that the quality diluted a little because other server, as much as I mean the JP one, like I say, is not that bad because they still know the general strat. But in terms of seeing DPS not meeting my personal expectation, not saying not meeting PF expectation, like meeting my personal expectation, I was surprised that how can a Dragoon do so little damage? But mechanical wise, understanding the fight, they are just like every other person. But why is this guy doing lesser DPS? I've seen Scholar doing near 0 DPS. I've seen White Mage doing near 0 DPS. And the group is okay with it. But the main difference when I get out of the instance, when I look at the party, I realize that these people are the people that is from the other server. So I noticed that, coming from a Chocobo only party finder, going into a cross server party finder, mechanical wise, these people are still okay. Communication wise, these people are on the same page. But skill wise, I do feel a little bit different. I'm not sure about Gilgamesh, because Japanese server have a lot of successful PF, right? While Gilgamesh mainly, I'm not saying all NAs, like Gilgamesh is the one when you talk about successful PF, right? The only one, right?
Right.
So I'm not sure whether Gilgamesh have more problems than me, but according to my Discord, it seems that it's a lot worse, especially Aether. I mean, I'm not trying to bash. I'm not in the situation to bash. I don't even play much there. According to people, fucking Aether and the Balmung people is making a name for themselves right now.
Okay, we're not going to bash the whole Balmung and Gilgamesh and RP, EBRP rating stuff.
Yeah, just talk about PF. I think this is the only thing that I feel different. The quality of people that come into our PF, because we are technically the better one going into the big one, right? So I feel a little bit quality difference in terms of skill, but otherwise, again, if you join the PF, as long as it can clear, I don't care how they do it, how many souls they do. If you can clear it, if the farm party for 3 runs turns out to be a farm party in 3 runs, even though maybe 1 run takes 60 minutes, although it haven't happened yet, I still think that would be the expectation that people should have in a PF. I'm not sure about the NA though. Maybe like you guys can share with me more experience.
This topic came up on Reddit. The point I made, and you could probably appreciate this because a lot of this is kind of like reflecting what you said. But the point is like, the attitudes are so different. Like when it comes to JP players, a JP player, their biggest fear for a JP player, like the typical, like there's exceptions obviously, but the biggest fear for a JP player is letting the group down. They don't want to let the group down. They don't want to fail the group. the biggest fear for an NA player is the group letting them down. And that is the difference. That is the number one difference between the attitude between the two cultures. Is NA is like, oh, this group's not good enough. I'm just gonna leave because we're not gonna win. And where the JP is just like, what can I do to help this group win? And that's why they're more successful. They try harder. They get better at their jobs. They make sure they know the fights, and they get shit done while we whine about to each other about failed groups that can't skip SOAR. So
no, and see,
that's the difference. Yeah,
that's what I enjoy in a good player is someone who says, "What can I do?" Right. That's a good player. That's all you need to be defined as a good player.
There are exceptions, and the thing is, like, I think the top level of NA players are just as good, if not better, than the top level of JP players. Probably better, but the average JP player is fucking in a different galaxy than NA players, and that is the reason is attitude. And the thing with NA players is JP, they work with what they have. NA players, because there's such a high skill gap, high skill players tend to gravitate towards each other.
Right.
So that's why, and I tend to gravitate towards the players that I can count on to have a great attitude and care about the team. And I like playing with team players. So when I meet team players, we gravitate towards each other. But yeah, can I say something about Party Finder? I mean,
you were doing devil's advocate. You ready? You ready?
Well, yeah, we've kind of been talking about good players, bad players for like a big part of the show. I kind of want to take a different spin on on the Raid Finder thing. I was a little hesitant to accept the cross-server Raid Finder for a long time now. It's been a topic for over a year, and I was a little hesitant to accept it. And the reason is, one of my favorite things about playing an MMO and what drives me to play an MMO is the social aspect. We talked a lot about bad players, good players. I want to talk about the social aspect and kind of that area of the new Raid Finder, or the new Party Finder. So, I think one thing that I really like about MMOs is the server community. And one of my biggest fears with the cross-server Party Finder is how much it would trivialize the server community. Because one thing I love about servers is everyone has a reputation on their own server. I mean, people know who are the good players, who are the bad players, who are the nice people, who are the assholes, and you carry that reputation with you. And the thing is, with Raid Finder, because you don't have to solely interact with only your own server, it kind of trivializes that aspect for me a little, and now it doesn't really matter because you're playing with people that you don't really encounter on your own server. But at the same time, now that we've had a taste of the cross-server Party Finder, like Xeno's kind of created a whole community through his stream, and we rarely get to interact with each other. And getting to play with people from other servers, I think the good outweighs the bad. Because I really don't like. I like the fact that the server kind of relies on its the server relies on itself, and each server has its own identity. And Raid Finder takes away from that, but I think the good outweighs the bad, and I see the positive now is, I get to play with a bunch of people that I talk with on Xeno stream all the time, and we're shout outs to those guys, and I get to play with them and I get to meet them, and that's okay. So I
find out they're really bad at the game.
Yeah, exactly. No, I've really warmed up to that concept of cross server stuff because we still have link shells and stuff where we can interact with just your own server and still maintain that reputation and all that stuff that's important to me. But at the same time, I really like the fact that there's never a shortage of people to group with and never a shortage of people to do, and you don't have to be in Gilgamesh to have stuff to do, and I like that.
I love
that is a huge positive in the cross-server Party Finder. I wasn't sure how I'd like it, but now that it's out and we've got to try it, I love it.
So here's the biggest thing, and I 100% agreed with you with this because I experienced this in WoW. And I mean, it went to this whole process to where eventually it ruled out you don't have to give a crap about anyone on your server. You just go in there and queue up for stuff. And I saw this direction being taken when they were saying cross-server party finder. And I didn't like the idea because of that, because I like community. Especially on small servers, community is like king. You know everyone. There's nothing. Like when I was talking to the guys from Zalera who do like really hardcore raiding from Zalera, everybody knows everybody. It's like you just have a really big FC, I guess, in different little chat rooms almost. And when you're introducing something like cross-server party finder, you're kind of eliminating the need to be social and be part of, you know, conversations with people and to actually go out and do stuff and help each other. You just queue into whatever you want. I still think cross-server party finder is not big enough at the point to where you can easily get into whatever you want at any time of the day. You don't even have to think about it. It's not instant. You actually still have to wait. You still have to go through some of the process. And coming from a streamer perspective, it's really, really biased when we talk about Party Finder, crossover Party Finder, because we're not based in our server. We're based in the entire community. Like, we constantly talk to people, especially Xeno. Xeno, you know this the most. There's billions of people that, or not billions, okay, super exaggeration. Lots of people that you can play with, but you don't do that because you were restricted. Now you have this huge community you can constantly play with. And so Cross Party Finder was something that was great for us, for people streaming. And when I say us, I mean like people who go out and stream every day and they talk to lots of different people in the community. Bok, you're even streaming now too. I see that.
Every now and then. I kind of lost the mojo, the stream mojo.
Yeah, you kind of, it's weird. So, but, you know, in Arthas, you do lots of streaming too, although you only play Overwatch on stream now, as every time I see you playing on stream, it's always Overwatch.
I still do a lot of FF.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he logged on
Overwatch
for
is
like
fine.
4 hours
Nice.
to get his relic, Kappa.
Well, I mean, like, and this is the thing. Cross Party Finder is really great for Twitch in general. Amazing for it. But the people who don't watch Twitch, the people who are not part of this bigger community of Final Fantasy 14, and they just stay on their server and they stay in their little bubble, which was me.
They might not care as much.
Yeah, they don't care. I mean, they're like, oh yeah, Party Finder's up here, but they only care about that little community they have on their server. So I don't know how they experience it. I don't think anyone in chat can really give us a good perspective on that either, because they are most likely
really?
active Twitch
But you know
people.
what? At the same time, as long as there's always more stuff to do because there's more people to do it with.
Yeah.
Because you know sometimes you log in, you open up Party Finder. There's nothing up there except for some guy looking at RP, and if you're not really interested, you're just like, whatever, I'm just gonna log out. But now there's never a shortage of people to group with. How many Zervan parties are there right now in Party Finder? There's tons.
Yeah,
right?
you know, Yoshida was talking at the pre-order Stormblood pre-order announcement. You know, he actually made a very interesting fact at the beginning of the show. He actually says that the EU and the NA actually uses the PF the most. The amount of party created in the first few days was like 6,000. Dude, 6,000? That's almost like
That's
1 to
crazy,
2 times higher than the JP server, he says. You know, it's so big. But again, though, after attending the MogTalk today, it kind of makes sense since you guys fucking
No, because
disband and make a
Party
new
Finder's
group
been horrible.
after a saw, you know. But I mean,
Yeah.
okay, maybe it's just very limited. Like obviously Xeno, I watched Xeno. You know, he always PF traps. You know, Fuji, etc. So I thought that it was the vibe that I get from the crossover PF is that it's really a success in a NA server. Like, you know, even like 2 a.m. American time 2 a.m. Sometimes when I see you guys open up your party finder, I see like 50 something. I'm like, dude, this is really good. This is a lot better. You know, the JP server at the moment, I'm not sure about coming week. I mean, it will just get better from here, right? Especially when people get to know one another. People accept more the fact that if I were to go across server, this is the type of, like I said earlier, this is the type of players, or my standard of expectation should go down. Then maybe PF eventually will become a better experience from here. But at the moment, what I see, whenever I look at you guys stream on your specific time, and then when it gets to my specific time, when I open a party finder, it's so different. Like you guys still have like 50 over party finder at 2 a.m. At 2 a.m. JP server, we get less than 10, which is, I would say, sad, because I want to do you know, things round the corner, round the clock as well. But so far, I see like the NA is the one gaining the most success, benefiting the most out of it. I think, whether streaming or not, I just think you guys benefit the most out of it.
I think that has been huge, and I completely a success, and it's going to help tide over the next like 5 months or so, just going in party finders. And again, I see every single fight, if I'm going in with random people, as different fights almost. If these people have, especially if they haven't cleared it first, because I'm looking at, all right, who's failing this group and why are they failing the group, and that's something to me. And Xeno, maybe, I don't know if you think that way too, when you go in there and you're like clearing, okay, where's the problem? Then the fun in it is figuring out the problem and getting through it.
I mean,
or trash talking
I mean,
them the entire time.
I have a lot of fun trying to find out what the fuck killed us. Like, I mean, because I mean, I'll be honest, I'm always amazed. Like, it's always something new. Like, damn, you can die to that? Holy shit! Oh my god, you can die to this? Jesus Christ! What is this mechanic? You know, like just crazy. But I want to say something real quick though, because like you were mentioning like community and stuff, right? And there was this one fucking retard in the chat that was saying, "Oh, it's just a game. It's just a game."
Oh my god! Don't call out the viewers.
But anyway,
Shots fired.
But anyway, but you know what? To me, it's not. Like this is
where I died. Sorry.
like Final Fantasy and Twitch, like that's my life. Like when I started to play Final Fantasy, I had I'm just gonna play this from a very casual perspective, right? And now I have met so many fucking awesome people that play this game. Like Bok, he's one of my best friends, man. Like Frosty,
thanks, man.
You're an awesome fucking friend. Like Arthars, awesome fucking friend. Like I met you through this game. Like this game, like it's just a game. Shut the fuck up. No, it's not. It's not. It's a fucking lifestyle, man. That's just how MMOs work. If you're playing an MMO and you don't think it's a lifestyle, then you're not really playing this fucking game. Because I've met
people get different things. Your mileage may vary. I'm not going to agree there.
I have met all my good friends through gaming. I've met all my good friends through gaming. And the fact that like people use that excuse, oh, it's just a game, man. You know, it's just like, well,
it's a cop out. It's such a cop out.
Yeah, it's a cop out, man. It's like not really.
So, you know? Like, can I feed off that a little bit? I just want to say that is extremely true, especially, you know, when we're going out here and we're playing this every single day. If they gave us nothing in this patch, you're still fucking playing tomorrow, Xeno. If this patch went horrible, you're still playing for the next 5 months. You're still coming in here. You're still doing this stuff. I mean, you might go a little bit and play Dark Souls a little bit more every once in a while and come back, but you're still here. You're still part of the community because this has been a big part of your life, right?
Yeah, like, okay, so another really good example, right, is that, okay, so one of my best friends, Snuggle, she doesn't play this game anymore, but she's one of my best friends. And I met her playing Terra years ago. We went from playing Terra to a bunch of other bullshit to Final Fantasy. So even though I met her like playing Terra, like me and her remain friends through multiple games. And like that's been the same thing with a ton of my friends online. So even if we're not going to play this game, like because we're not going to play this game forever, right? So like let's say like a new game comes out, right? I'm going to try my best to play that game with my friends. You know what I mean? Because like I talk to like the people that take time out of their day to come in and watch my stream, right? The people that fucking just hang out and chill and just are constantly in the channel, you know, just fucking just chilling, right? I talk to those people more than I talk to like my fucking family. So to say that this shit is just a game, it's like, no,
man, it like transcends the game. Because I think I like the game, I love the game, but I play it because I'd say the number one reason I play it isn't about DPS and healing and killing bosses and internet dragons. I play it because it keeps me connected to friends, to people I like. And if the social aspect, for whatever reason, this game disappeared tomorrow, we'd be finding something else to do together.
Yes, like the social aspect is very, very important, and man, that's why going back, it fucking triggers me when you get these arrogant people, man, that are just like, I don't care, you know, I don't care about anything, you know, I just want my loot, you know, like just get the fuck out of here, just get the like you're being mean, you're an elitist. Good, I'm fucking glad that you think that way, you know. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah,
like
I got you, dude.
Like, you got to think about other people when you play this shit, man.
All right, Arthas.
But
Is this just a game, Arthas?
No. No, dude, I play Final Fantasy 11. I found my wife in Final Fantasy 11. I make so many friends with Final Fantasy 11, and outside of Final Fantasy, you know, because like I say, right, Final Fantasy 14, it's not like previous MMO. You know, you actually have to meet people, know people, you know, socialize with people in your server to get things done, to get dungeons done. But Final Fantasy 11, because of the raid finder and now the cross-server party finder, you know, having an actual in-game like friendship or relationship is not as easy, and the bond is not as strong as previous MMO. So for me, that's why I started streaming. You know, get to know more people, because otherwise I'll just be sitting here in this room, right, in these four walls, just pressing buttons, doing DPS, right? So streaming now. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be in the show. I wouldn't even know Xeno. I wouldn't even know Frosty. I wouldn't even know what is MogTalk. I wouldn't even come to Twitch. So, you know, how 14... yeah, like how 14 eventually, you know, transit me into now a streaming and knowing these awesome people in the community. It's not just a game anymore. Like, if you're fucking sitting here playing on the, you know, PlayStation game, so alone, not streaming, not doing anything,
Pull
not
out the
talking
controller,
to people.
dude.
Yeah, that's just a game. But now, you know, for us, for us right now, playing the game and actually having actual interaction, even though it's online interaction, but I mean that's what that's what this age is about, right? I mean, rather than, like I say, just sitting here playing yourself, facing the walls. Now, you know, it's an actual conversation. You have a community to talk with. You know other people. We have the same interests with you, playing the game with you. You know, having discussion like what we have right now. It's not just a game anymore, man. Not just a game anymore.
Yeah, no, I agree. And some of my best friends, I still talk to them. I moved to the same city they live in, playing WoW. And, like, that was a huge thing to me. I played WoW all the time. And I don't know if I could ever, like, find, like, the friends I had, you know, from high school. And people always say, oh, yeah, you get friends in high school, you never will talk to them again afterwards. That's kind of true, but when you go into play an MMO and you play something with them for, like, 10 years... and you get to know these people better than you know your family. Like Xeno was saying, I talk to these people way more often than I talk to my own family. So, I've been fortunate enough to find people like that. And this is a common interest. Like if you go and you play basketball with a whole bunch of people, some of your best friends will be people you play basketball with. If you go and you just do something that you're interested in every single day, you're going to meet other people interested in that, and you're going to gain friends that are more valuable to you than, you know, any other friend you'd gain from something that was mandatory, if that makes any sense. So, okay, good. I'm glad we got mushy here. I'm glad we kind of went through all that. Thank you, Xeno. I was
group hug.
Yeah, we can give each other a group hug here.
Hey, man, you know what, dude? You know what, man? Like, man, a lot of people... you know, like, man, this guy's an asshole or whatever. But you know what, man? I help a lot of people, or I try to. And if you think I'm an asshole, fuck you. That's all I gotta say.
Wow.
Well, I mean, like, yeah.
I mean, I was going somewhere with that, but then I just kind of gave up.
It's okay. All right. But no, yeah.
So anyway.
Anyways, all right. I think we hit Party Finder pretty good here. You didn't have any last notes on that, did you, Bot?
Me? No.
Okay, good. All right. I did want to talk about PvP because it did have some major quality of life changes that could actually make PvP more active in the game and everything else. But I have a feeling none of you guys play PvP. Am I wrong on this?
I play PvP. Oh, yeah? I do play PvP. Yo, let me tell you about some PvP, dog. Let me tell you about it, man. Okay, so check it out. I used to PvP back when, like, Final Coil was a thing, right? And what we do, right, we get 7 of us and we queue into turn 9. And I'm on a tank right now. Hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
Queue into turn 9, right? And then, boom, the pug DPS or whatever gets that red marker above their head. We all stack in, right? Last second, boom, move out. We fucking kill them. I'll tell you another PvP. I'll tell you how I PvP again.
Or you try to wait. Hold on, can I ask something about turn 9?
What?
Remember how, like, when they get that, what's it called? Garrote, whatever?
The Garrote twist,
we have to pick up those things, and then we'd all go and steal it, so you can't pick it up.
Oh, yeah, dude. or like, all right, so in Sophia, right? That's one of my favorite PvPs because you purposely
Oh my
you
god.
go on Zerk, a pot, you just go to fucking Pound Town on them healers, right? You this big ass warrior, right? You Zerkin, internal release, pot, boom, like fucking 16, 17K. It's a cleave. You kill like 2 people. Or another one of my favorite ways to PvP, man, is you purposely get close to the person who gets confused,
The confused
and
heart.
you
Yeah.
wait on the cusp of the tilt. So when they're attacking you, right? And then when the tilt happens, they fall off, but you stay on. It's so fucking funny, dude.
Xeno's
It's
really
so
good at this. She's
fucking
gotten
funny.
some practice.
You're just like, get shit on, nerd. Get fucking
This is
shit
what
on.
you get for picking on my healers.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that's my PvP.
Okay,
Oh, that's
okay.
too funny.
Bok,
I don't actually do PvP.
No,
PvP?
yeah. Do you do any PvP, Bok, at all?
The only PvP I do is in party chat and on Reddit.
Okay. Reddit's a exhausting one.
Oh yeah,
Gotta have some really good skills there.
yeah. I'm usually outnumbered, but that's okay. I like the odds being stacked against me. That's okay.
I gotcha.
Take them all on.
Arthas, have you touched
Nah, I
PvP?
don't. No time yet. I need to finish my relic. Then I can go and do something
Oh,
else.
okay.
Like I mean, maybe maybe we will sidetrack a little bit. Like talking about the 5 months. Like I don't know. Wait, are you covering that later?
Well,
Or-
I'm talking about like it being the reason I bring up PvP is because it's going to be something that people are going to run out of PvE stuff eventually, and they're going to get bored and they want to go into the next thing. And so, what's the next thing? They're going to maybe try out PvP, see if that's something that will work for them.
I mean, not now, but eventually I might. Depends on how my interests, start. Whether I want those mounts. I don't think I will though. Like I'm not going for. I'm not a guy who like loves glamour or mounts. Like I didn't even accept the quest for the Yokai Watch. So I'm not sure whether I'll do the collaborate event, with the Garo event. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I mean, there's 5 months. Eventually I might, but.
I gotcha. All right, so
Yeah,
have you
I
guys
got
ever
another
been interested in
PvP
any kind of
story,
MMO
man.
PvP ever?
Oh hell
I
yeah!
am.
I love
Yeah.
PvP in WoW. WoW is awesome.
I love PvP like Ion and Dark Age of Camelot. I do a lot. Even
Okay.
even Blade and Soul as well. Yeah, I love PvP. It's just
Right,
that
it's
this
just-
game, we kind of expect that. We kind of sit back and expect that. No, we don't expect much from Final Fantasy 14. It doesn't mean that we don't like the PvP. It's just that hey, if I really want a PvP, I'm not saying that you should. If I really personally want a PvP, I will play those games. Just not 14 for now. I mean, I'm not saying that it cannot be great. It can be, but at the moment.
Okay.
Yo,
Xeno,
I got one more PvP story, man.
Okay,
I almost
okay.
forgot. Chat
Oh my
fucking brought it up.
gosh, here
I
we
do
go.
this all, dude. It's so funny. All right. So last patch, right? There were 2 dungeons. There was Zephytal
Mhm.
in the Great Google Library. Okay. Now, in Zephytal, right?
Uh-huh.
They had now Zephytal was AIDS for the most part, but the second boss, the second boss was awesome, man. He had
Which one's
this
the
thing,
second
right? He
boss?
had this. He was the guy with like the Garuda thing. He had this the Garuda weapon, like I don't know, it looked like Garuda. But
Mhm.
anyway, so okay, so here's what you do, right? You go in there on tank. You dig? You go in there on tank, right? And this fucking boss, he does Swift Feather. Okay.
Oh,
Now this
shit.
is a
Yep.
slick
Mhm.
dick move. I started doing this, man. It was the funniest fucking thing. All right, so the first time he does Swift Feather, it's just a frontal AoE. So you just boom, you dodge that shit. But the second time he does Swift Feather, it's a slick dick Swift Feather because he does it and then he does the AoE. So what you do is you wait for a second and then you like dodge behind where the melee DPS are because it happens so fast and they don't expect it, right? So the AoE comes out, fucking kills both of them.
Yep.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Boom. Just fucking dead. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh
Get the
man.
fuck out of
Do
here.
you remember in at the end of God, what's it called? Anti-Tower. What we do is we crowd around the healer and face the boss when the boss does the gaze move that you have
The
to turn
gaze,
around.
yeah.
And if you get
Yeah,
hit,
yeah.
you get confused. So you turn towards the boss, you surround the healer, you turn towards the boss, you pop your strength potion, you pop all your cooldowns, and you
Mhm.
one-shot the healer.
That's exactly what Xeno was talking about with Sophia, right? Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I've never intentionally done that, but I've unintentionally, I think, killed somebody with mind control before.
My we were running an anti-tower. It was me and Xanther. Xanther's the Dragoon in my SARG group, and we were running this, man, and he gets confused on purpose, and I'm pretty sure he was on Monk. And so he hits this ninja twice, and he crits him both times, and fucking just kills him instantly. Just fucking kills him. Just 100-0. He's just dead as shit. Just fucking dead as shit. It's the funniest fucking thing, man.
All right. I'll bring it back real quick to PvP.
Okay.
PvP,
Anyway.
PvP. All right. So the reason why they kind of screwed up a lot in this one is mainly because they're making it harder for people to play together because they want to kind of Care Bear a little bit and get rid of the chat from Feast. Have you guys at least heard about that?
Yeah, I heard about that.
All right.
Like how? Why would? I mean, is the butt hurt really that bad that they have to just remove the chat?
I don't know. I don't
and it's
remember
worse,
hearing
like,
it.
we already have hotbar issues with our normal abilities. And now, if you are doing PvP, you have to bring in the PvP abilities. So now what? You need one more hotbar just to put on those. Attack A, attack this target, I'm on the tank. Good job. Like, what? It looked like, oh my god, seriously? I'm not like, earlier you say there's a lot of quality of life changes for PvP. I'm like, what?
So the
Are you
quality of
serious?
life was the GC reduction or restriction for being removed. So you don't need a grand company to go in there and do a big, massive PvP event, right? So that's great. That made it to where people can go in there and kind of mindlessly PvP and kind of get a feel for it before they actually go in and do anything serious, and they don't have to wait 30 minutes to get a queue. Queues are a lot faster for PvP now. And so that invites more people into it. At the same time, they added an event that made you look like a metal, crazy Power Ranger guy. That's what it looks like to me, like some evil Power Ranger villain or something. Have you guys seen the Goro event once? The Glamour?
Yeah, I bought it.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I had 20k wolf marks saved up. I don't know how the fuck that happened, but I just bought the whole tank set.
Yeah. It's pretty ridiculous. And then they give you that mount that looks absolutely ridiculous that you can fly
Well, the
around
fucking shoulders on the tank gear are like, it's like you're all upper body. It's like you're top heavy.
Yeah.
Like, how can you walk?
Anime character, dude. That's what it is. You just triangle.
I guess.
And so, I mean, that was really good. These are things they should do to get people into PvP. Because if you're not going to do it, then, like, if you want to start, I guess, encouraging people to run in and do PvP, you have to give them incentive to do it. And that was the carrot right there, is that crazy looking gear. Then you have to give them access, which is removing the GC restrictions. So that was all positive. But there's still lots of issues they didn't address that is holding back PvP in this game from being remotely serious. And the biggest thing, get that protein bar, dude. Get it in there, man. But the biggest thing in here is not letting people play this game who want to do it fair have a chance. And this is where my ACT conversation comes in. Because since they don't want ACT to be in there, they don't implement anything that people they don't want to restrict it, right? Because I remember good old Meuni who's in chat, he was freaked out. He was like, they blocked ACT, they made it hard for ACT to work. I'm gonna quit this game immediately. You can't see your numbers, what's the point in playing the game? You can't see how you can improve, quit the game. But that turned out not to be the case. But when you actually go into PvP and ACT, you are looking at cheating the game, because ACT will call out when someone puts on bloodbath, or not bloodbath, but what's it called?
Blood for blood?
Yeah, blood for blood. It'll tell you as soon as someone does it.
Fuck you for it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it tells you all these
blood
little
for
things.
blood, get him.
Yeah, no, it's stupid. And this is stuff that you should have with awareness with playing the game and fighting against other people. And if you're playing on PS4, screw it. You don't have ACT, you probably don't have a good enough reaction time to figure out what's going on compared to this other person who's going to know everything that's happening and is going to say, hey, target this person now. And it makes the game cheap. And you don't want to play the game if you don't have fair odds against the other players who can find ways to do these little things and hack. And I hate talking about it because I don't want to bring awareness to it, because this is the poison of the PvP community right now, but it's something that needs to be addressed. And they should put a personal parser in the game and then find ways to block ACT. That's just me, though. The big thing about ACT is the parser. I don't care about anything else about it.
I thought they had I remember seeing a patch or something they say about they will try to block ACT. Wait, they couldn't do that? I thought they said they will do it, like find a new coding or encoding system so that ACT wouldn't detect, say, the logs. I'm not sure, man. Did they even succeed in doing that? No. Oh god. Okay.
Yeah, and so like ACT.
Well, if we had a DPS meter, we wouldn't need a. Well, I would need ACT if we had a DPS
and it would make the
meter.
game more enjoyable because I think figuring out mechanics and paying attention to mechanics should be something anyways. Although Bok completely, I'm sure you'd rather have the callouts, right?
Huh? Oh yeah, I need callouts for everything, dude.
Yeah. If they just remove, all I care again is the parser. Everything else, whatever.
Well, it would also depend on how in depth the parser would be too, because like, if it's not going to tell you, like if it's just going to strictly parse damage, then that would be really bad. Because I actually use incoming damage and healing just as much as outgoing damage.
Mm-hmm.
Like
people
as far
think
as
ACT's just for measuring your DPS.
Yeah, that's just ignorant people. Like they don't understand.
Honestly, like half of it is like sometimes people die. It's like you need to diagnose what happened. Even in PvE setting, it's like, how did you die? Well, let's see. Tank took. Did I just not heal the tank? It's like, well, the tank took 37k from his tank buster. Obviously, his cooldown was late, and those things are important. It's not just about measuring your DPS.
No. Well.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah.
Back to PvP.
To kind of get back to my mini rant I'm having here. If they want people to be excited for PvP, they have to clean up the stuff that's really mattering for people who, mattering, that's a good word, right? That matters for people who are wanting to take it seriously. If you don't have the serious players in PvP, then you kind of kill the interest in that community. For example, if no one was really serious about doing big numbers or being really good at PvE and clearing bosses fast, I think the interest of that content would go down and less people would play the game. You need people who are crazy good at the game and for people to look up to and people to inspire. How do I take myself to the next level? Because if you don't have that, you don't have that carrot. That's the biggest carrot at the end of the stick is how do I become a better player for a lot of other people. And so if you make it to where you don't really have that because the people who are really good don't want to play PvP because you have to cheat in order to compete, then what's the point? The other thing is you can't view matches like they introduced the whole like spectator mode, right? They did it in FanFest. They're like, hey, spectator mode, you can watch these people fight, but you have to be on the same server. Like you have to be in the same area. You have to group a party together like that. So you can have internal server PvP, but that doesn't help anything. If you could make it a global thing with data centers, then maybe that could be a little bit more interesting too. But they've made huge pushes to try to encourage people to play PvP, but none of you guys care with any of the pushes they've done, right?
I mean, not yet. I mean, I do a little bit, but just like not the first priority. Like,
I would rather go
PF. I would rather farm a bird. Do Torden, enjoy a Torden fight, enjoy a Zervan fight, enjoy the Sophia fight, Sephiroth fight, than do PvP right now. Not saying that it's bad though. It's just not our priority right now.
I actually really enjoy PvP. Like I loved PvP in Terra and Ion and Rift and oh man, the Star Wars PvP. Holy fuck, dude. That shit was oh my god, dude. That shit was awesome. But like, I don't know, man. It's just like Final Fantasy, like just personally, I just think Final Fantasy PvP is just boring. I mean, I've tried it, but just coming from like Terra and Ion and shit like that, I personally just find Final Fantasy's PvP boring, but I don't know.
WoW was made with PvP in mind, like the combat system and just the way
Horde
it's
versus
made.
Alliance thing.
In FF it feels like it's a PvE game, and hey, we added PvP. It's like an
just
afterthought.
there because
so
it's just there
for that
because
reason,
the
it does not
community
interest me. Yeah, it doesn't interest
it's
me.
just there because the community asked. That's it.
I don't feel that's true. I feel like they're actually promoting it.
Yeah, and and maybe, but it's just that if it doesn't feel like it was designed for it just feels that it's in it. And if you enjoy it, then good, more power to you. And it's just that I'm not one of those people.
I think it's a business decision.
Yeah. At the same time. Yeah, I mean, and it's funny because like some people are just like PvP is great in this game, and they're just like you don't knock it till you try it, and then they go in and then they win trade, and I'm just like, even PvPers don't like PvP. They just win trade. They don't even try to kill each other.
The top
this PvPers.
Anyway. Yeah, the very top PvPers do this.
I'm like, well, what the fuck's the point?
Yeah. It kills me. Because I enjoy PvP. I think it's fun because it's a competitive thing. I like competitive things in some way. Oh, I understand how Machinist works. I go in here and I figure out how Machinist works in PvP, and I can just blow somebody up real quick. That's fun. Xeno, you like killing people? If you could just kill somebody in PvP, like just blow them up real quick, that's a lot of hype. I feel like that would be fun. If
I mean, like, well, like the issue that I have with it, man, is like, so, okay, so let's take like Terra, for example. In Terra, the game was made with PvP in mind. So when they made the classes and they made the skills, the transition from PvE to PvP was very fluid, or at least it felt very fluid. And the same thing with Ion. There we go. But in this game, like, because the game's skills and abilities were made for PvE, that like you lose, it's not as fluid when you take it to PvP. Yeah. So like basically like your skills in PvE, at least to me, it doesn't feel like that it's as fluid as going into PvP, because this game wasn't made with PvP in mind. This game was made with PvE in mind. So then when you take those skills to PvP, it's like, to me, it feels very awkward. It feels very awkward and it feels forced. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Whereas in like,
that's not to say it's not enjoyable, but it's
just me personally. I don't enjoy it, but
because a lot of people love it, and I think that's awesome. If there are people exist who love it, and it is still a big community, then that's enough for me to say that it's worthwhile. And I see a lot of people in chat just shitting on the PvP, but you know what? A lot of people don't like raiding. A lot of people think raiding's stupid, but you know what? We enjoy it. So as long as that's the case, then it's validated, right? So a lot of people saying delete PvP. Well, hey man, there's a lot of people who get a lot of enjoyment from PvP. You might not like it, might not be your cup of tea, but it's not my cup of tea. But rating's not some people's cup of tea.
ERPing's maybe not your cup of tea, but there's people out there that like it, dude.
Well, it's like PvP isn't. Yeah, it's like not my favorite thing to do either. But I like. I mean, I'm not like, I'm like not trying to gather the townsfolk and grab our pitchforks and torches, ban PvP, I'm not trying to fucking do that shit, I mean, because I just don't care enough about it. Like, I mean, if you were to ask me, like, if they took out PvP but put more PvE bosses in, would you be okay with that? Fuck yes. If I had a choice, like if I had to pick between keeping PvP in the game and putting more raid bosses in, I would choose more raid bosses without giving a fuck. I mean, but I mean that's just, that's just me though. Like that's just me. But at the same time, I'm not like, they're wasting their time with this. It's just in this particular game, I don't really find PvP that enjoyable.
Okay.
Like I mean,
I can see why people like it. I mean, totally.
Like for me, as a more PvE player in a Final Fantasy game, like as long as the PvP development time is not like what Xeno says, could that possibly be one more turn 5 boss? If yes, then obviously I'll be like, then don't have PvP, man. But if not, then it's okay to be there. I mean, it's great that some people play this game for the PvP, although I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm saying that there's way better PvP games out there. But if that makes you play Final Fantasy and eventually, you try the more focused aspect of this game, which is PvE, I think it attracts the PvP people in the game and then transit them into, trying the other aspects of the game. I think that's okay. I think that's what they want to do, actually.
One thing people need to realize, I mean, like a lot of people are saying, they're better games for PvP and stuff, but one thing I love about MMOs in general is that MMOs has a little bit of something for everybody, and that's what makes MMOs great. Is it has a little something for everybody, and you might be part of you might be part of this demographic or this demographic, and people who like PvE rating, PvP, and stuff like that, and the thing that ties us together is the game itself. So, why, I don't know, if I had a choice between them expanding upon the current PvP or just ditching it altogether, because I personally don't play it, I would still choose the first, because while it doesn't interest me, it interests a lot of people that I care about, and the PvPers, they're gonna want to raid too, and I love raiding. That's my favorite thing in this game. And so the PvPers, they might want to branch off and say, you know what, I kind of want to raid, and then now they're in my world, right? And I like that.
Yeah, like Joe recently is not recently, like even Joe has like attempt Savage, So I think it's good thing to see. I know obviously I don't know whether he cleared Gordius or Midas, but like when I watch him, the few times that I managed to catch him, he's also doing Savage raiding already. So that's what like Buck says. They come into the game liking the PvP, but eventually comes in and do raiding. I mean that's what the game wants, and I wouldn't mind that. I think that's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the final point on all that too is, when we get to the expansion, they're apparently kind of rehashing the whole battle system in some sort of way, right? They're coming back and they're going to make things simpler, I guess, in some sort of fashion, which is a whole conversation of its own. But I think that might change how PvP works in this game to where it's a little bit more accessible to people who aren't used to the PvP system. If they can go in there and they're like, hey, I have these different skills, and some of them are made with the mindset of maybe PvP wrapped around them, but I don't know. We'll have to see. That's all like speculation, to be honest with you. But
I mean, one key element when you talk about PvP, which this game haven't introduced or dared to introduce yet, is the landslide element in the game. Like when you play Ion, when you play Terra, gear matters. And if you PvP this much and you gain that upper hand, getting, say, the PvP Abyss gear, in Ion, you should be fucking one-shotting, face rolling people. In this game, the PvP gear is like either glamour or just I don't care what you get. When you do this specific PvP mode, you are item sync. I think that's really stupid. PvP should be whoever spend more time killing people, or in PvP should be able to face roll people. So that is the one thing for me personally that why I didn't go into PvP. Like I want to PvP. I want to like in Ion. I want to PvP. I want to go in Dragon every time. I want to go to the Abyss every time. I want to be able to jump on General every time. I want to fucking get that General God Stone. One shot proc. 3,000 damage. I want that, but there's just none of that in Final Fantasy. So
man, that was, dude, in Ion, man, back in like when it first came out, dude. You could man, it was so good. So they had like Ranger. Yeah, do you remember Ranger? You throw up stealth, right? Boom, you be invisible. You be creeping around, right? You be creeping around, you see somebody, got my eye on you. You come up right next to him, man. All of a sudden, you pop like 4 buffs, shoot him in the face one time, dead. Just fucking
stunning
dead.
Shot, man.
Deleted.
Stunning shot.
Oh my god.
Dead.
If they lived through that shit, you had knockback arrow. If they lived through it. That was if. And then you just, dude. You just pop out of stealth and they just be like a deer in headlights. Oh shit. They wouldn't even finish their sentence. They just die. just fucking dead. Yeah, it was so great, man. Like that was savage PvP. That was cutthroat. That was back when Ion had some fucking balls, man. But like now, it's like free to play and shit, and it's like
PvP should be like that. That needs
trash tier and shit like that, man.
So you guys think that like they need to just pretty much change? There's a lot more problems with PvP right now that they have to fix if they really want people to get into it.
I mean, they are treating their PvP like PvE. They are trying to balance whenever they can, but sometimes PvP needs to be unbalanced for PvP to be fun. Whether it's gear difference or whether it is specific classes having specific skill difference. Right now, they are just trying to do everything properly. Like, I don't care if you are heal. They even take away cleric stance from healer for PvP. Like, that is the lowest you can go in terms of trying to balance the game. PvP! Player versus player, and you take cleric stance away from
point,
healer.
man. That's a good point.
That is the baseline for me that they are not doing it for
Man, you know, like open world PvP is also a lot of fun, and there's none of that in this game either, because like a majority of the fun in a majority of fun was going to the abyss. That was a PvP zone, and it was just straight fucking like dirtbag, scumbag, the lowest of low. Like you be rolling in with like, you know, like 5 or 6 of your buddies, right? You see one guy, he's completely under geared. Like one of you could probably kill him in one hit, right? But you don't fucking care. Because there's 6 of you, and you the bully squad. You go up to this guy, and you just fucking ruin his day, and you camp him, you know? And you make him so mad. He's so mad. He's talking so much shit and shout. Like, you guys need to leave me alone, you know, blah, blah, blah. Fucking losers. This is just a game. It's just a game. Like, yeah, let's see you come out of that fucking town, you piece of shit. You know? And you just wait there, right? Just straight fucking savage, dude. That's what I'm talking about. That's some fun shit.
Yeah,
that's
that
some fun
is
shit.
Very important. Like PvP is not supposed to be just in game killing people. You have to fucking mess with their mind as well, you know. Like you have to fucking camp.
Oh yeah, dude, it's the mind game.
You guys sound like psychological killers, man.
It is. PvP is supposed to be. You are supposed to have this psychological edge over the other. Like, you know, in Ion, when you find the soul stone, when you kill the people and they spawn there, you don't fucking destroy the soul stone, man. You know that they are gonna spawn there. You fucking camp that shit. You expand that soul stone. The amount. If you can raise 10 times, you want to kill that person 10 times. You don't want to just kill him, destroy the soul stone, and call it a day. You know, no, that's not PvP. You know, PvP is to fuck with their mind and make them like, I'm never going to come back, and I'm never going to play this game again. That is PvP.
Especially okay, so like whenever you die in Ion, you like respawn, right? And like, okay, so when you respawn, there's like guards and shit. So basically, if you're on the opposite race, the guards will attack you. But let me tell you, all right? Let me tell you, there is no better feeling than fucking suiciding in like a fucking bat out of hell. You suicide in, you got like 9 guards on you. You got like 3 seconds to live. But you know what? You only needed 1 GCD to kill that nerd, and you fucking got it. And right after you kill him, right, you just fucking obliterate him, right? And then boom, the guards kill you. But you know what? It don't even matter, because gotcha, bitch. And you just dip out. You just dip out. Got him. Got him.
We got the obvious point. That's all it matters. Woo! That's PvP. Yeah, that is PvP.
You know, okay. I want to share a little example of the fun I had in WoW. We played on a PvP server, so sometimes you could PvP someone who doesn't want to be PvP'd. And our guild, we were one of the biggest guilds on our server. And it was Horde versus Alliance, right? So you know how you have like 2 different factions, and basically you couldn't communicate with each other, you couldn't party with each other. So every Saturday was basically, we did not raid on Saturday. It was sacred. Saturday was ganking day. And basically everybody in the guild was instructed to be in whatever zone and just kill everybody. Just kill anyone whose name was red. Just kill them. Just kill them. Kill any alliance. Because some people could only play the game on weekends, and we're gonna make it. And the thing is that is the way, that is the fun. Because like some people say, well, how's that fun? You're just picking on people. But you know what? It's fun because it makes the war between Horde and Alliance feel real on our server, and
not being able to talk to him was a huge thing too.
And the thing is, like, Alliance, you better defend yourselves, because we're going to make every single PvP contested zone absolute hell to be in. If you want to go do your quest, well, sorry, we're not going to let you do that. We're going to kill you. So you better come out of your raids, Alliance, and defend your people, because we are ganking the shit out of everyone every Saturday. And so if you could only play on Saturday, you either switch to Horde or find a different server. That's the kind of... But people said, why is that fun? But that's the atmosphere we created.
They joined the PvP server,
right?
That's the thing.
We made it miserable to be the opponent, and people say, you know, that's not nice, and they complain about it to us on the forums. Our response was, the PvE server is that way.
Yeah,
because in the PvE server you couldn't fight someone unless they were a willing combatant, right? But in PvP server, if you're in a PvP contested zone, you're a valid target. So basically, it's But
So do you
I
guys
don't know.
think that
That's
they
kinda
should
lost in this
implement a PvP
no,
server?
it doesn't
in
fit
Final
in this
Fantasy?
game. It doesn't fit.
It
in this
Yeah,
game.
kind of
just
doesn't
does-
fit.
That's okay.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Okay.
But
It
but
kinda doesn't fit.
that's what. But you know that atmosphere is kind of missing. So
okay.
yeah.
it was really fun though because like you'd see these nerds trying to do a quest and you just kill the quest NPC, and then they'd run and go back to the guards. You're like, that's cool, that's fine. You ain't talking to this fucking NPC though, because every time he spawns, he's dead as fuck.
Oh my
He's
god.
dead as fuck. It's so infuriating. Oh, so get this right. So in Ion there was the Asmodeans and the Elios, okay?
Oh,
And they had different languages. So when you put in /say and you type something out and you were on the opposite side, it appeared as gibberish on the other player's
Yeah.
screen. But
Yeah.
but
but you can go to
someone
the
made a
website.
translator. Someone
Yeah.
made a translator. So you fucking type out what you want, like you type out, yeah, stay in that camp, bitch, and then you fucking type it in, and it's like, but like they hear it, you know, and they're
Mhm.
like, oh fuck, this guy's talking shit, dude. Like he's talking shit.
Oh, man. You
The
copy it,
translator
you
was
go
the
to
greatest.
website and you translate, and then you'll be like, "Wow, this guy
Yeah.
talking." Oh my god, that is so good, man.
Yeah, you could like
Uh,
macro that shit, man. Like you could, yeah, dude. That translator was great. You just be like, yeah, get shit on, nerd, and then
oh
fucking
my god.
put it in the translator, and then they fucking understand it, dude. It was the
I mean,
funniest fucking
this-
thing, man.
This is the
When
most important
hatred
thing
is
about
real-
PvP. Yeah, this is the most important thing in PvP. In 14 PvP, it's like, okay, everything has to be controlled. No hate. Everybody come together. It's like a fucking festive event, dinner and dance. You know, just go at one another. And after you finish, you probably don't remember that guy. You probably don't hate that guy. That's not what PvP should be. It should be like, fuck. For example, I go into PvP. I fucking get fucking owned by Xeno. The next time when I go to this zone, there's a chance that I can see him again. I want to kill him.
One
But-
revenge. Yep.
Yeah, that should be PvP. Not
When you
just
can
Yeah, you
create
you should
real,
definitely remember
genuine
the-
hatred and anger. You know, in the opponent, right? If you can make them like truly hate you, it's like this guy fucking totally ruined my weekend, right?
Mhm.
That is real PvP.
Yeah,
man.
dude,
Yeah, 'cause
that's
competitive.
a war.
mind
It's a war.
game,
Yeah.
you know.
It's a freaking war. That is real PvP. This is
Yeah.
just, you know, it's just a little mini game that you play in
Okay.
PvP. Is a bit of a mini game, which isn't
Yeah.
bad. It's just different.
All right. I feel like at this point we've kind of covered a lot of stuff here. We didn't hit all the points, but I don't know if
that
we
we
need
did.
to hit all these points. I really don't think we do. I do think that we can go into some of these viewer questions if you guys are okay with doing that.
Hell
real
yeah.
quick. All right.
That sounds good, man.
We have a handful of viewer questions, and they might multiply it by 20 because we're talking about it, but we might not hit all of them. The first one kind of goes back to the relic, and this is probably a conversation when we were talking about the relics, and I know this was a big point for you, Xeno. Hammerfy wants to know about that warrior relic.
I was heartbroken, man. I was really heartbroken because every warrior relic has been fucking awesome, man. It's just been just straight fucking metal, like just fucking, you know, like if I was like the warrior relic, you can't even describe in a word. You just have to grunt because it's because that's the kind of weapon it is, you know. You just fucking grunt, you know. But like, man, this one, dude, it was like.
Even the name, man. Holy shit.
I'm
Minos?
gonna put an emote in
That's
chat right
cool.
now that's gonna fucking sum up what the warrior relic is.
Is the one that I activated
Oh,
here recently.
Yeah. Has to be that one.
It has
Minos
to be
is a Greek god, man. I think it's a badass name. The axe
There it
does
is,
not do it
man.
justice.
Just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's so disappointing, man. It's
Like
so
the
disappointing.
Bravura, the original version was so good. The Bravura was so good.
no.
And come to Minos and the design.
Yeah.
See, my
Man.
favorite warrior relic was well, I really liked the Ragnarok. I thought it was a little small, but I actually liked the last one a lot. The Blood Emperor. I thought that one looked
Oh,
fucking
okay.
badass, man.
Mm-hmm.
Had that like glowing center, you know, just fucking cool as shit, man. But this one, man, is just. I mean, that's gotta be like that has to be a joke, right? Like,
You know,
like,
somebody tell me that it's the level 1X. You know, the one,
Yeah.
you know, when
Yeah.
you go and fight the Mughal, the Kappa guy. The Mughal is called Kappa, by the way. He had the axe. Yeah, that's basically your relic axe. right now. That small little thing, yeah.
Like, I mean, that's why I haven't really did it, because like usually I get the relic for glamour, but because I don't need it for the actual stats. Um, but yeah, like I'm just taking my time because I don't really give a shit. I'm purely doing it just so that next patch it'll be best in slot, because I'll have, like, I guess, slightly more crit. But
So I'm gonna ask this question, and I feel like almost I shouldn't ask the question because I feel like we've hit it way too much. We had our moment with it. But Craven74, why would they care about players' DPS? It's a damn video game. You play to have fun. So I don't know if I want to even go into it, because no, that was a serious question. But I don't know if I, because we already, yeah, we'll just skip over it because I can link them the video and where we had an hour conversation about it not being just a game. So
why would you want to be good at removing the boss's HP in a game where the objective is to remove the boss's HP? I wonder. Next question, please.
Yeah, pretty much.
Seriously, man. Whoever asked that question.
what a fucking
no
moron.
shaming. Okay. Kamas 108. Since Square Enix don't want to put an official Square Enix parser, I guess, in the game, what about they put a score at the end of the fight like they have at PvP? I kind of have an idea what I think you guys will respond as, but how would you guys feel about that? So
Like
instead
a
of a
time
parser
score,
in DN,
or
you would
like
see like, hey, this is how much damage I did during this fight at the very
Chet
end. It
had
just
that
sounds like-
idea. Chet
I mean,
had
that'd
that
be-
idea in that.
I mean, that'd be cool. Yeah.
They do
You
that
mean like the
in, what's it
PvP,
called?
right?
They give you a letter score, like a grade at the end of what's it called? Palace of
SS
Dead.
plus plus.
Yeah, they give you like I don't know how accurate those are, or you know what it actually means, but hey, it's a step in the right direction. They could build on that. Maybe
Yeah.
good idea.
Like, how about, after the score, whoever does like the good DPS, like get more tombstones or more gil. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah, I
will
mean,
people try harder?
getting
That'll
a
be
score
great,
at the
right?
end would be good. The only issue that comes from that is that you still want to know what actively your DPS is doing during the fight. Like
Yeah,
if you do
yeah.
something different, you're like, how is this increasing my DPS?
Like the certain phases, like, I mean, the most important thing about passes is specific. Like I mean, we had talked about it earlier. Like specific phases, what we should be using, what not we should be using, what we should be saving. Why did people die? Is there too much overhealing? Yeah, I think that's the most important thing about the passer in game. At the end, I mean, if at the end of the fight they just show the score, I mean that is, I mean, better than nothing. But
But it's still not going to replace a
You know what
parser.
though? You know what? Flogs kind of fulfills that role in a very. It's not the most elegant way because it's a third party thing and not everyone follows it and not everyone knows how to comprehend it properly. Yet at the same time, for a lot of especially the hardcore raiders, Flogs really kind of fulfills that void.
So if Square
but
Enix just
have
created
something in-game-
Flogs,
No, Flogs is really it's really heavy and it's not for everyone. You know, it's very like very technical, and I think if the game kind of embraced that, it would actually take away more than it would add. But I think it's okay that Flogs exist for the people who want it. So I think it's okay. Honestly, I think it's okay that the game itself doesn't have it because the people who want it have it in sort of, you know, in a way they have it already,
right?
just in a weird way. Yeah.
Hopefully, when they get rid of when they drop PS3 support,
yeah,
they'll have a parser. Because, like, I mean, like, I don't know this obviously, but I think a big reason of why there's not a parser in this game is because of PS3. Because if
or
they
even PS4 as well.
yeah, well, if they add a parser and for some reason that it's not capable or that it's not compatible or whatever with PS3, then they would actually be separating players, and I like that's definitely not what they want to do. You know, like that's like that would be really bad. But hopefully when they drop that fucking cancerous ass PS3, the game will get like a lot better when it comes to like, you know. Like, I hope they add a parser, for example.
Right. No, I mean, if they
drop
had
PS3.
these things like parsers and stuff in the game, it would help the people who are on PlayStation and remove the need for it for people who are playing like on PC and everything else. They're obviously going to have ACT. If they're any good player in this game knows what his DPS is doing. They know. I mean, that's just part of figuring out how to become a good player is getting that information. And so I honestly think if they added like some sort of decent parser within the game, a lot of the stuff they can just go ahead and start blocking, and I wouldn't care at all. I would be fine with them trying to block ACT if they had some sort of way to accommodate those needs. But because you can't lead a raid without having a parser in a group if you were going to be a raid leader, because hey, we aren't doing good DPS. Well, I guess it's one of us.
Let's all fish through the logs, guys,
Yeah.
and we'll all come up with something. We'll all crunch numbers. We'll, like fucking 2 months later. Okay, so I found out. Like, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
No. So I mean, it's a pretty important part of the game, and I don't know if Final Fantasy really needs to include like a way for billions of mods to be implemented in a game like WoW does. WoW is super supportive of it. It loves mods in the game. And I feel like that can cause some sort of damage to the game in some ways, but it should have relative understood expectations of MMO players, which a parser is one of them. All right, and so Bo Mage asked this question. I'm not sure if it was just during a point of one of our conversations or how that all came out, but I'm going to ask it anyways. What's the point in naming something Savage if people complain about it not being as easy as story mode? Have you guys ever had anyone complain about...
Yes.
Really?
A3S is too hard. No shit, it's Savage. That's been a huge argument back in the day. But those people had a point. A3S was too hard. But at the same time,
Yeah.
Savage is meant to be savage. I wish it was more savage than it claims to be. So.
Well, they said they're gonna add 3 raid tiers, man. Like they said, like, because
Did they say that? Was that like an official statement?
They literally said that at the
They-
fan
yeah,
fest we
it
went
will
to.
be.
They literally
will be.
said that they're
It will
adding
be.
3 raid tiers. So
I thought it was just like
hope
an
they-
interest thing. Like, hey, do you guys want it?
No. It's
Nope, they
100%.
specifically flat out said it that they're
Okay.
going to add 3 different raid tiers. That they
I won't believe it
they-
till I see it.
yeah, well, no, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I'm kind of in the same boat, but I'm probably more hopeful than than some of us. But yeah. So what they said was they are happy with the difficulty of creator, but they are thinking about the more hardcore players, and they will be adding a difficulty, like a harder difficulty on top of the on the creator savage difficulty. So hopefully they stick to that.
I'm
Yeah, that's
still thinking it was something that was speculation and gauging what people thought. I don't know. They probably will, because most people responded positively to it. So I think if they don't do it, it'll be a disappointment.
I think they say that they'll put it in the odd, most likely put in the odd patches after the Savage. I mean, raiding and then 24 man, and then they'll put it in the 24 man, the odd patches, because instead of just catch up patches, they feel that the people who have the highest level people wouldn't make any sense for you to have a catch up patch for these people. So they want to make one more difficulty. They say they will make one more difficulty. And I mean, as much as we keep saying that creator savage is easy, but I think that if anything, I think the silver lining we can take out from creator is that it sets a very good base as a mid-core raiding difficulty. So I think if you were to put something in the middle between the story and the real savage, I think creator is okay. And they also say that in 4.0 they will start off. Probably a lot of people might not like to hear this. Like they say that in 4.0 they are very seriously considering putting the savage difficulty in the 4.0 raid as a start, rather than Gordius. I think the reason why initially they call Gordius, initially they come up with the term savage because they really want to make it difficult. And according to what we see in Living Liquid, at a certain degree you can say manipulator. Can you imagine if you can't skip the Nisi? I think Term 4 can be a little bit more interesting. If not, it's already
if you take out the whole
already.
Being able to skip Nisi part, turn 4 is pretty damn difficult for that
So
phase.
if you think of it, they actually lived up to their words. Like they really, aside from turn 1 and turn 2, they really make Gordius really kind of pretty savage. As a raid. It's just that I don't think they expected so many people coming into Heaven's Word and then bitch about Living Liquid because they're just not good enough, or maybe the leveling process drained there because it takes so long, and also maybe these people also have their other main games to play, like maybe World of Warcraft, come from another game, want to change pace, come into Living Liquid, probably scare the shit out of them, and they just quit. But they wanted it to be Savage, so just because of that, now they go into Midas, which is cool. I think Midas is the best, just like your second Coil of Bahamut.
I think so
And then
too. I think Midas is the best.
And then come back into your Creator Savage. So it's the same shit that they done for this Koi actually. Twintania was actually pretty difficult. I mean, it's a new game at that time. People probably don't know their rotation. We don't even have ACT that time. We don't even have information of how we are doing, when we are doing wrong, where we are doing wrong. So eventually, as the game evolved, they felt that when they used the term Savage and they put it into Gordius, I think that they kind of justify it. It's just that they don't expect people to be able to handle it. So this time in 4.0, they say that they are considering to kick off with Creator difficulty. I think that is good news, as long as, at maybe say 4.4, we end up with Gordius-like difficulty. I think that's okay. But, I mean, maybe a lot of people wouldn't like it, but think of it as a bigger grand scheme of things. If these other people were to come into the game and, go into 4.0 Creator type of Savage difficulty, these people have success, more groups going on, raiding community expand, and then finally, if what they say on the FanFest really comes true, the 4.1 we have the difficulty above Savage. I think that will encourage a lot more people into doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think one of the reasons why Turn 2 Koi Savage did not bring over to the final Koi Savage is because it just came out from nowhere. Twintania, you finish Twintania, then you finish your Turn 2, your second Koi, then suddenly there's a Savage. And at the same time, no incentive other than title. It's not that people don't want to do it. There's a lot of people just doesn't want to spend time doing it. And then it just didn't go into final coil. Yeah. So this time, if they get it right, I'm sorry, in the beginning, if they get it right, I think it can follow through for the 3 rate tiers in 4.0. Hopefully, though.
I wasn't happy with the implementation of Savage Second Coil. I love doing it, but the thing is, like, there are a lot of problems with it. One, the reward was lame. Two, it was on the same lockout as
that was awful.
Coil. So a lot of people
Yeah.
just
That
wanted
was
to finish that
fucking
shit
stupid.
over the week and be done with it. So then when like nobody did it, nobody ever did Savage Second Coil. So like very, 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 very few people did it. And then SE probably looked at it and was just like, this just isn't popular. This idea doesn't work. But truthfully, the idea was great. The implementation was shit.
It was shit, yeah.
Implementation was shit. And they took that and they basically said, well, I guess nobody likes this difficult of content, but I honestly think that is so far from the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And if they did it right, people would love it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think they've made some good changes with how they do, relatively with how they do rating, with doing the different tiers, and adding an extra tier will probably help out. If they can do something, I don't know. I really think that they could do better. They need to give also something for it. They need to say, hey, your armor's gonna look badass after this. If you do Savage, you're gonna be shiny and crazy, and yeah. You look at that guy and you're like, holy shit, we got this guy in our group. Let's just AFK and let him solo fight for us. And just
like
done.
5, I mean, Glamour, I think is already pretty good incentive. I mean, obviously, like right now the system. I think the system right now, like what Bok Choy said earlier, I think the system right now encourages, if the second coil of Bahamut, Savage, were to be implemented, say somewhere in 3.0, with what we have, the Raid Finder, where we can just go in without sharing same lockout. I think it would work. It's just really bad implementation.
Save your best looking weapons for that. Even if it's the same skill, just make the best looking weapons there, and that
or
make
even,
your artist work on it.
Or even maybe 5 item level upgrade from. I mean, an RNG factor that you can get 5 item level upgrade. Things like that. Rather than the title.
Yeah.
Should encourage people.
I don't know if you guys feel this way, but man, like, maybe this is just the RP in me coming out, Maybe this is just the RP in me coming out, right? But whenever I have really awesome looking gear, I just feel more powerful. Like I feel like I'm like even though I'm not at all, I feel more powerful. Like sometimes, man, like I'll change the glamour and I'm just like, yep, I just jumped up like 20 item levels, like just in my head. Are
you trying to imply that the next patch you get the X, you're gonna be less powerful now?
I mean, Maybe.
Oh my god. All right. I think we went into a lot here. We're hitting like what? The show itself has been 3.5 hours long.
I
Setup
told
and everything
you.
else.
You brought
wait,
God.
you brought
told
me and
you.
Xeno on the show.
And-
We don't do 2
I
hours.
mean, I brought you,
Don't
Xeno,
do
and
2 hours.
Arthas on the show, and I mean,
Like
like,
you are like
I don't
You
know.
guys are battling.
I don't know if you're
Say.
if you ever been on a podcast that's gone this long, but
Yeah.
every time me and Xeno tried to do Unchained for 2 hours, it ends up being like 3.5. So
yeah, our
That's
shows
fine.
used to go up to like 4
Didn't
or
mean to
5
leave you out.
hours. But now, like, see, here's the thing. Like, I can bring on like experts, like high FF log people, people who are like the top of FF logs. Their responses aren't as like in detail. You guys, you love talking about this stuff, and so we're gonna talk about. What's the most amazing is Xeno's the one that's talked the least during this show.
Hey, man, I'm
Really?
running on
Oh,
fumes
yeah,
at this
yeah.
point, dog. I'm running on fumes, man.
Reviews, yeah. But I think this is
I
a
done
good
fell
point.
asleep 3 times. I'm just really good at hiding it, man.
Dude, that's awesome. You got eyes painted on your eyelids.
It's the glare on my monitor. I'm like lining it up. Nice, you know.
Nice. Well, I think this is good. We'll probably go ahead and end up the show here. I appreciate you
wait.
guys coming on. What?
somebody asked, Kyoko Star asked a question. Can we
Yeah.
answer that one question, please?
Sure. What
He
question did they ask? I don't know if I saw it in
Oh,
here.
I put it on the Skype thing. He said,
Oh, okay.
since glamour is the true end game, what is the best in slot for glamour? And I just want to say one thing. I don't know what the
Okay.
best in slot for glamour is. That's going to vary from person to person. But the single most underrated glamour item in the entire game. Are you ready?
Mhm.
Soot black dye. Everybody seems to think that jet black dye is strictly better than soot black dye,
Oh
and
my
that you
God.
should never. And soot black dye is just jet black dye
Oh
for
my
poor
god.
people.
See. Here's my argument.
Okay.
If you were a trio, or wow, I don't even know what word that was that I was going
Trio
to
is
say.
good,
If
dude.
you
Try
were
again,
a true RPer and not the casual plebeian that you are, you would know that true black dye is
Bullshit.
by far
Bullshit.
superior.
Bullshit. Okay. Let me put it this way. Would you say that black suits are always better than charcoal suits? No, man. Maybe you don't want to look like you're going to a funeral. I'm sorry. If you think that jet black dye is better for each and every single piece in the game, you're straight up wrong. Your glamour game is weak. You probably suck at this game. Your
Oh my
glamour
God.
game. You're the glamour equivalent of a 0 DPS healer.
Like,
Soot black dye is jet black dye is better for some pieces. Soot black dye is better for some pieces. To say
like, I mean, if
you're
you are,
putting
if you are
jet
like
black
a
on
photo,
everything, you suck at this game. I'm sorry. That's
like-
all I have.
Get
to
out
sorry,
of my
man, like-
party.
That's
Get
all
out
I
of my
wanted
FC.
That's all I want.
like, so I'm sorry, like
Yeah.
if you are a real Photoshop person, I mean, I'm not, but you know, a Photoshop illustrator will tell you that technically there should not be an instance where something or some shade or for some certain piece of gear or anything should be that black, because soot black dye is just pure black. No, not, I'm sorry. The
Yeah.
jet black dye is pure black. Soot black
You
dye
lose so much
is actually
detail.
the actual black. Yeah, the
Yeah.
soot black dye is
Yeah.
actually the actual
It's
actual
saturated.
representation of how black
God.
should be.
It looks bad.
Jet
Anyway,
black
sorry.
is-
I
you
did.
will
That's all I
never
wanted to
use it.
say. I'll stop now.
Yo, have you
Yeah, me
noticed
too.
sometimes that when you dye
I'm
a
so
piece
sorry,
of gear,
Ross.
soot black dye,
I can help this.
it like becomes lighter? Like
It is.
the gear's actual color is darker than soot black or jet black for that matter. Like how the fuck does that work?
Oh my
Like,
god.
Like how can the
So-
normal
Let's-
we're talking real in
Yeah,
game.
we
here,
are, we
not
are, no, it's
casual.
I
true.
have dyed a piece. I have dyed a piece jet black, and then went back to soot black because I thought it looked better, and just wasted like 500K right there because I thought it looked better.
I feel I feel like we need to have a show where we bring you guys back on and we talk about dyes for 3 hours.
Yeah, you need a Muni, man. You need Muni or Rinjan in here. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
me and you
yeah,
would just
yeah,
say honey yellow the entire time. Honey yellow. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right.
Now we'll go back and we're like, this was a good show. Well, it was great. I appreciate you guys coming on. This was awesome. You guys have all been absolutely fantastic. And, you know, you guys will be here next week when we do our show again, I'm sure. So we'll just do this again. We'll just repeat and continue the show, and it'll never stop for the rest of the entirety. We'll just keep having the Xeno, Bok, and Arthas show here. Me and Xeno can sit back and just kind of rest a little bit, and Bok and Arthas can sit there and just speak over each other and tell each other how each other's wrong.
Hopefully I'll get more sleep next time, man. Holy shit, dude. I'm like laying in bed. It's like 11 a.m. and I'm like, man, if it hits 12, I'm just going to say fuck it and stay up. And it's like 1 and I'm still trying to get like an hour in, man. I'm like, come on, just give me an hour. I kind of go into this like unconscious but not really state for like 40 minutes. And then I'm like, well, I guess that's it for today.
It's the zombie mode, man. The zombie mode.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, man. Before we leave, we all have to do shout-outs. And while we're doing this wrap-up part, if you're not doing your shout-out to whatever you're shouting out to, look on Final Fantasy 14 directory and see someone that you guys want to host. Xeno, you're not streaming after this. I know you're not streaming it.
I don't think I am.
Okay.
Going straight to bed, man.
Yeah, so look at somebody that you guys would want to host and let me know, and we'll do that. But first off, doing shout-outs. Let's do a shout-out starting with Bok this time, since you are the new guest here. Shout-outs to whoever you want to shout-out to.
Anyone? Okay. Well, you know what? We talked a lot about, maybe too much, about good players, bad players, and stuff like that. I just want to shout-out to the really good players at this game. I know that sounds really elitist, but the way I see it, this game does not set you up for success. The game doesn't teach you how to do anything. The community vilifies players who are good at this game, calling them tryhards and stuff. Basically, all the forces of nature are trying to, all the odds are against you being a good player, and yet you're a good player anyway. And you make parties pleasant to be in, and all of your hard work makes the game funner for other people, and it's pretty thankless. And so I just want to shout out to good players. You guys know who you are. Even bad players, you think I'm talking about you, but you're not. You're not included here. But I just want to shout out to anyone who really puts in a lot of effort, because those are the people who make this game fun for me.
Can I add like a quick thing to that? Not to like totally ride on that, but also maybe I would want to shout out the people who can take criticism. That's the people who
good one too.
Yeah, the people who take criticism from good players and don't blow up on them, and they just. I know it sucks when someone says, "Hey, you're shit," but if you take that and you try to make it into something better, shout outs to you guys. Not for going into just rage fit. So, but any other shout outs there for you, Bot?
No, that's it.
All right, Arthas, shout outs for you, man.
I mean, as usual, I mean, I probably can't shout out to any of my people in my community or something. So I'm gonna like shout out to everybody who is like still playing this game. This whole 3.0 series. I mean, we are coming to a close. This 3.0 series has been actually not as good as what we all expected, but everybody is still playing. Everybody is still on Twitch. We see more streamers. The community actually got I'm not sure bigger, but definitely better. And all the streamers like Frosty putting on the show, Xeno with his bully stream every day, like Happy, everybody, man, all the streamers like keeping the community still intact, and hopefully that we can remain intact or even expand and do things together like this more in 4.0. Yeah, it's still a long time though, but yeah.
Okay.
Everybody, man, everybody. Yeah.
I gotcha. And Xeno. Any tired shout-outs for you?
Man, I got 2 shout-outs, man. Okay. I got 2.
All right.
1, shout out to all my friends that I play this game and that I've met, because to me, this is not just a game. This is a lifestyle. This is not just a game. And man, my second shout-out, man, is my family. And my family is Twitch chat, man. It's Twitch chat. Shout out to Twitch chat. I love Twitch chat. Twitch chat is my favorite, and I say this every time. I do have plans to get eyeball surgery, where I can get Twitch chat surgically implanted in my iris on my right eye. And when that happens, I'll just be, I'll be at the gym and shit, father-son gym night, and I'll see Twitch chat, and they'll be saying shit like, "Come on, Dad, baby rage, you can do more," and I'll feel bad. But then they'll say shit to boost me up, like, "You can do it, Dad, angel thump," and shit like that, man. And I'll get, it's bonding,
Mhm.
I love Twitch chat.
Yeah.
I love Twitch chat, and
Are
yeah,
you gonna
man.
do in real life streaming there, Xeno? You can get your phone and stream there while you're at the gym.
I mean,
They
like,
have a section for it, dude.
we have, like, I've talked to Marlby about it, and like, we have salmon night where we make salmon, and he like takes the virgin oil and rubs it on the salmon, and I think Twitch chat would really enjoy that. I could be wrong, but I think so.
Okay.
And it could be a cooking strum.
Yeah, why not?
think
Domestic
it would be-
Xeno.
Yeah, I think it would be very, very interesting.
All right. I of course want to shout all you guys out. Bok, thank you for coming on the show, dude. It's been absolutely
thank you so
amazing
much
having
for
you
having
here.
me.
It's just as good as I imagined. Just as good as I imagined, dude.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun too.
Oh my.
Yeah, and you're always pretty awesome with all the information. You dive really deep into a lot of topics, and I really appreciate it. You always seem to at least care about making people better and doing a really good job, and you sound like an awesome, friendly guy while you're doing it too. Xeno, definitely shout outs to you, man. You've been supporting the show for so long here, and you make people better. You don't seem like a nice guy when you're doing it, but you help out a lot, and I used your Zolfin guide to help us get through just recently, so you only had it
nice,
out for a
man.
couple of days.
Nice,
There
dude.
you go.
Zeno's a nice guy. He just has an image to uphold. He pretends he's not nice, but he's actually really nice.
Oh yeah, and when I met Xeno face to face over at a fan fest, I got to know Xeno. Got to understand him a little better.
Wait, did you break
Mhm.
your chair or something?
No, he did not break my chair. No. My chair was intact that entire time. So I appreciate you coming on, Xeno. It was really awesome to have you come on again, dude.
Yeah, man. Thanks dude. I always like being on MogTalk, man.
All right, and of course, Arthas, dude, I love you, dude. You're awesome. You go crazy all the damn time, every single time. You're just like ranting, and you weren't even working on your relic this time. That was awesome.
Yeah,
dude.
almost.
That's
Yeah,
what
almost
you think.
finished. Almost finished them already. So just taking a break today. Attend the show. Yeah, that's pretty chill. Nice, man.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and we went, of course, way over time, but I had tons of fun doing it. I might need to go to the bathroom really bad, but it's okay. I think it was awesome doing it. And, of course, thank you to everyone watching the show today. You guys have been awesome participating in chat, going with keeping the chat moving, always talking about stuff is really awesome. And Carrara for managing all the people going crazy. So, I saw you ban somebody at the very beginning of the show.
I had to wreck
Oh.
him, dude. I had to wreck him, man.
That was fucking awesome. And I looked at it, I was like, is this a legit ban? It was. And I was like,
I
holy
mean, he
crap.
was being fucking retarded, dude. I don't fuck around, man. He was being fucking stupid. I banned him, dude. I don't fucking give a shit.
That was amazing.
Like, I don't get the fuck out of this chat. Nobody wants your dumbass in here. Get the fuck out, man.
It was
Same thing
pretty
happens
awesome.
on my chat too, dude. People come in fucking being retarded. Get the fuck out, man.
There you go, man. There you go.
Oh.
And then also thank you, Carrara, keeping everything intact and collecting questions and being absolutely amazing. I couldn't do the show without her. So thank you for that. Thank you, Blizzana, for the artwork. Thank you very much to everyone who's watching this on YouTube and listening to it on Podomatic when it comes out, or iTunes, or wherever you're listening to it at. And Andre Kane for the music that he provides for us for the intro of the show. But next week, I'm not sure exactly what the show's going to be. I was going to have Bok. I was going to force him to come on the show again next weekend and do an Astro show. But he has other plans, and I can't have an Astro show without Bok on it. He has to
Sure
be
you
on it.
can.
No,
Man.
no.
But you know what? Yeah, you know what? I'm not available next Saturday.
That's
It's
fine,
freaking.
dude.
It's a huge day. It's a huge holiday for us folk. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm down.
I almost forget. Oh shit, man.
New Year's, dude. But one of the questions I didn't ask, just to let you know, Bok, was, well, let me pull it up. Hold on, real quick. It was, can we talk about how handsome Bok is?
Oh my god.
And this was from
my.
Pantone.
Oh
So,
my god.
Uh,
my face is turning red right now. You can't see it on the pic. but-
and that needs to change on the Astro show, dude. You get it? Get that webcam, man. And we'll do a 2-hour show. We'll do a strict 2-hour show, so you don't have to like hold it in, or you don't have to worry about having to get up or anything. Maybe we can
No
convince
comment.
you. We'll see how it works out. Either way, you got to be on that show, dude. Next week we will have probably a show. I'm gonna have to make sure I have the right people for it, so I don't want to announce what show I'm gonna have until we actually have it out. So follow me on Twitter if you guys want to find out for sure. We'll be streaming here again tomorrow, and the following day, and again and again and again. And I think that's pretty much it. Did you guys look through the directory? Did you guys find somebody?
I have someone.
All right, hold on. Let me get it pulled up.
Someone.
You want to type it in Skype?
I could just tell
You
you.
tell me, or who is it?
Okay, it's a very good friend of mine, and many of you know her.
Oh, her.
It
Oh,
is.
her.
Oh,
There's
my.
fucking Arthars. Oh, her. Ooh.
Her name is Snuggle Thug,
Okay.
Oh,
and
yes.
she is streaming right now.
right.
And when we go in her chat, make sure to bully her. Make sure to bully her. It is very important. It's very important
All right.
to bully the thug.
Wait. Let me follow first, just in case when you 400 people go over, it doesn't look like I'm creeping or something. Wait, let me follow. Okay. We can host now. Okay.
All right, guys, we're gonna host them. Go over there, be bully as all as you can be. Thank you again for all watching the show. Let's do our awkward waves. Goodbye, everybody. Do your awkward waves. Even Bok.
Bye.
Bye,
Wait a minute, I can't
guys.
see- Bye. Thanks, everyone.